We are tonight's entertainment.
What the fuck is this, Jet?
This is a tasty burger.
Were you rushing or were you dragging?
You like Huey Lewis in the news?
Is this your homework, Larry?
Why just spill your beans?
Welcome back, gentlemen,
to
the motherfucking film
scoop.
Back.
Another hiatus.
No hiatus happened. We were here last week.
Yeah. If you didn't hear us last week, then something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
You're the problem.
Yeah. Your internet's been out.
Yeah.
We've been uploading every week, just like normal.
Must have lost power. It might be a Mandela thing.
Right. No, we fucked up. We fucked up. We haven't recorded in over a month.
Yeah.
Longest hiatus yet, I believe. Be pretty bad if that had happened more than once.
That would be bad.
I can't really explain why we haven't recorded. But I did make a promise a long time ago to the Scoopers. I said, we'll never make a mediocre scoop. And I said, no scoop is better than a mediocre scoop. And to be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna fib to the Scoopers about what happened. I could make up some excuses, say I've been having some health problems. I could say I've been busy with work. I could say my mom had a wedding. But the truth is, didn't feel like it. If we're getting down to the meat and potatoes here, I did not feel like recording, and I didn't want to make myself record when I didn't want to because I thought it would produce a mediocre scoop. And I took a vow to never produce a mediocre scoop, and if I did, the contract we signed said that we would get 40 lashes.
Yeah.
And I, for one, am not fond of lashes,
They're
and
bad.
I don't want them. So we didn't record, but we're here now.
Listen, you can call us
The
lazy.
boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. All right.
You can call us lazy, but you can't call us liars.
And you can't call us late for dinner.
Yep.
Yep. So we're back, and we're here to talk about, guess what? Superman.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm a punk rocker. Yes, I am. You like that shit? That's how I should have. I should have put the song in the right at the beginning.
Awesome.
If I was smart and cool and awesome, I would have done that. But I don't
We're
have
already
it in me.
putting our best foot forward.
Yeah.
Our return.
Yeah. But we're gonna do some scoop shenanigans first, and then we'll get into Superman. So, first things first, scoop of life. Been reading a lot, and now gotten into comics recently. But since we haven't recorded in over a month, there's a lot of things that we haven't talked about that I'm going to have to discuss. Some briefly, some I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm going to pull up my list of things I've read. Going back to June. Yeah, Recursion was the last thing I talked about. I finished A Little Life. Very sad, very depressing. A book I loved reading, but also wanted it to end as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So I gave it a 5. Very good. I would say I recommend it, but you got to be in the right mood for it.
Stuff like that is hard.
It's like recommending Schindler's List.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's good, but
you're gonna feel
kind of not.
Yeah.
I read Slaughterhouse-5. Didn't like it at all. Hated it.
That's on my watch list or my read list.
Yeah, it's bad. Don't read it.
Dang.
I hated it. I read Red Rising, and it was not quite as good as people had chalked it up to be, but I still gave it a 4, and I really liked it. And it's a sci-fi. I'd say like sci-fi fantasy. It's like the Hunger Games in space, sort of. Hunger Games meets like Game of Thrones meets Star Wars. Really good. I enjoyed it. I haven't gotten to the second book yet, which people says is the best one, because I tried to, and I wasn't into it. Like, not like it was bad. I got to like page 10, but I wasn't in the mood.
Oh, okay.
So I just put it down, and I was like, I'll read this some other time. I read The Perks of Being a Wallflower. Didn't love it. I liked it at first because the structure is like this high schooler writing letters to this unknown person. We don't know who he's writing them to. And I was like, that's a cool way to like tell a story. Like
Yeah.
it's all from his perspective in these letters that he's writing. But it just kind of, I started to get bored towards the end. I think I would have liked it more if I was younger. If I read it when I was in like middle school, I think I would have liked it.
Have you seen that movie or just read the book?
No, but people say the movie's good.
Yeah.
I read Of Mice and Men, and
That's the
that
good
was
stuff.
that was good. Really short. John Steinbeck,
I haven't
good
read
writer.
it. I just know how it ends.
yeah, pretty good writer. But the best book I read in my hiatus was called Stoner. And that's
Oh,
actually the last book
yeah.
that's not a comic that I read, because I think it was just so good that I couldn't fathom like reading another book. So I was like, I'm gonna fucking get into some comics. And then Superman and Fantastic Four also put me in the mood to read comics more.
Yeah.
But Stoner was incredible by John Williams, and I immediately put it in my top 5 books of all time, which isn't that much of a trophy because I've only read like I think like 43 right now. Is
What's
like,
your top 5 right now?
Stoner, Project Hail Mary, Dune, Recursion, and I Am Legend.
Oh, okay.
But Stoner, there's nothing to spoil. There's like it's a very simple, mundane story about a guy. It follows a guy's life from like basically birth to death, and he's just like a professor at a college. That's it. And there's no big twist. There's no anything. It's very straightforward. It's exactly what it is. And that's what it's a book that like you can't really describe why it's so good. You just have to read it and find out, cuz everyone would recommend it and say, "Oh, it's like a masterpiece. It's 5 stars." And then say it's about a college professor. It's about his life. And I'm like, "How is that a 5?" Like,
You're
I don't
like, okay,
understand.
go
Like
on.
what there's got to be more to it than that. But it's just so well written and I just can't describe it, but I like couldn't put it down. I just enjoyed reading it so much, and I recommend it to everybody. I feel like
It sounds like Perfect Days almost. Like you're like, oh, you should watch Perfect Days, and you're like, what's it about? A
Perfect Days
janitor.
is happier.
Okay. But
Perfect
you get what I'm
Days-
saying. Like if you described what Perfect Days is,
Right.
you're like it's about a janitor.
Yeah, but Perfect Days is like a movie about loving the simple things in life and not getting. It's just romanticizing a normal life, and Stoner is a lot more like depressing than that. It's not like glorifying his life and these events in his life. I can't really I can't really get into like why it's so good, but everyone should read it. And it's not super long either. I think it's like 300 pages or something. So
Oh, that's not bad at all.
yeah, everyone should read Stoner. It was amazing. And then I started getting into my comics again, and I read Superman for All Seasons by Jeff Loeb. That was fucking awesome, dude. That was fucking gnarly.
Woo woo.
A bunch of banger quotes in there. It's 4 issues, and each issue is a season. So it starts in like spring, goes to summer, all the way to winter, of course. And it's mainly about Clark. It's not too much about Superman, but that's my favorite shit. I love Superman stories that go into Clark. I love Batman stories that go into Bruce. That's where the meat is, and I love stories like that. I liked it a lot. I gave it a 4. I read Green Lantern No Fear by Jeff Johns, which is just a really small, like, little excerpt of Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run. And that was solid. It was more of like it's sort of like an origin story. And I enjoyed it, but I only gave it a 3. I was like, it was good. It was fine. I read Mr. Miracle by Tom King, which is a character that I thought was like a new character that he was creating. This came out in 2017, and I found out it wasn't a new character. It was a character that's been around since like the 60s. It was like he would show up here and there, and he never really got like much of his own storylines or like books. but that was really good. I like that more than the Green Lantern one I read. And that one's interesting because there was a lot of lore that I wasn't aware of that I probably should have been aware of before I went into it, like the New Gods and Darkseid and the High Father, and they're in New Olympus. That's not what it's called.
I am the High Father.
Yeah, Sponge Boy me Bob. I'm the High Father. And basically, Mr. Miracle is there's basically, to sum up the backstory really fast, Darkseid runs Apocalypse.
Yep.
And bad guy, woo, bad. And then the High Father runs the other world that I think is called like New Olympus or something. I can't remember the name. But Mr. Miracle was the High Father's son, and Orion was Darkseid's son. And then to end the war with each world, Darkseid and the High Father decided to swap sons. Not sure why that happened. I really don't know. They just said that Darkseid wanted an heir, but he had an heir, so I don't know why they switched. But anyways, Mr. Miracle was the High Father's son, but then he got sent to Apocalypse to be raised by Darkseid, and like got, fucked up because that's bad stuff.
Yeah.
And so then it just follows his life, like once he's grown up and like left Apocalypse and went to Earth, and it's really interesting. But
It sounds awesome.
yeah, it's pretty cool. I read Batman Ego, which also I gave Mr. Miracle a 4-star. I read Batman Ego, which I instantly gave a 5-star. I loved Batman
Hell
Ego
yeah.
so much. It is so fucking cool. It's basically, this isn't a spoiler. This is just like what the concept is. It's Bruce being confronted by, basically, he's like being tormented by a ghost that's Batman. Batman is talking to him and basically challenging his ideologies. And basically there's right at the beginning of the story, this guy kills himself because of something that the Joker did. And Batman comes to Bruce and says, this would have never happened if you would have killed Joker a long time ago. And then Bruce is like, oh, well, I don't kill, like, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, okay, well, let me do it. You don't have to do it. Let me do it. Mm-hmm. And, like, trying to separate them into two separate entities. And Batman is bringing up how, like, sometimes Bruce will talk about his villains like they're two different people. Like when they have, like Harvey and Two-Face. He's like, oh, well, Harvey didn't do that. That was Two-Face. And he's like, so you'll separate these other people, but you won't separate yourself. You won't let me do the things that you aren't willing to do. And he was like, the world would be a better place without Joker if you just let me do this. And it's one of the most, like, interesting things I've ever seen in a Batman comic. And I loved it. And it's only like 64 pages. You can read it in like 30 minutes. It's so fucking good, and everyone needs to read it.
I'm gonna have to borrow that. I've been wanting to read it. I just haven't gazed yet.
Yeah.
But
And
I
then
remember people just saying it's like Batman having like a mental crisis, basically.
Yeah. And Matt Reeves said it inspired his movie, but I don't see like a ton really that he took from it.
It could just be a play on him being like growing by the end, him being vengeance and seeing himself one way.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing I can think of. That kind of arc that he has in Batman.
Then I read Green Lantern Rebirth, which is another just excerpt of Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run. And that was way better, and I loved Rebirth. I almost gave it a 5, but I gave it a 4 instead. And basically, Green Lantern in like the late 90s and early 2000s got shit on. He basically became a villain, and they kind of ruined Hal Jordan's character. And then Jeff Johns came in and like restarted things and brought Hal Jordan back to the forefront and like rejuvenated his character. So Rebirth is like Hal Jordan's rebirth as Green Lantern. And basically he had been mind controlled by Parallax and then had become something called the Spectre, which is I think the god of vengeance. And he's basically like death that goes around and like, he's like Jigsaw, sort of. Like, he's going around and like killing people that do bad things. And this story is like all these other... Rebirth is about all the other like Green Lanterns and sometimes other superheroes, like Batman is in it and other people are in it, trying to stop Spectre and bring back Hal Jordan.
Oh, okay.
So it's... I don't want to like spoil anything, but there's so many like fucking badass moments, and every page... I'm a big pacing guy, so I want like every page to be interesting and have something cool going on. And Rebirth is really fucking good. I loved it, so everyone should check that out. And then I read X-Men Dark Phoenix Saga, which is really cool. And it was different because I had been reading so many modern comics, and then I went back to this, which came out in the late 70s, early 80s, and it is a much different comic style. It's a much different writing style than I'm used to, because modern comics are, I don't want to say more mature, because like it just depends on what you're reading. Some of them are, but basically the 80s, they explain everything that's happening through dialogue or a thought bubble. So when people are fighting, Wolverine's in this story I'm reading, and he'll say like everything that's happening. If he gets thrown back by Sebastian Shaw, he'll say, Sebastian Shaw just threw me back. Like,
yeah.
That shit like that constantly. So there's so many words and there's so many speech bubbles that you don't even need to read. You can look at what's happening. So it takes a while to get through because it's so dense. And it also, like, you have to be in the mood to read something like that or else it's going to get on your nerves. But I enjoyed it, and it has a lot of like the things that we've come to know about the X-Men, because like the X-Men comics have changed so much over time. There's always like a different team and blah blah blah, but Claremont, the author, he sort of introduced all of the modern things that we think about when we think about the X-Men. So it's really cool to like go back and see the origin of it. I gave that a 4. And then the last thing I read, I finished today, almost in one sitting. Ooh. I started it yesterday and read like 80% of it, and then I got too tired and I had to go to bed. But I read Fantastic Four by Jonathan Hickman. It's not his full story. It's like a fourth of it. It's like the first fourth of it. But it's like the completion of the book that I have. And that is amazing fucking stuff. One might even call it fantastic.
Oh my god.
I loved it. It is so like it's the kind of stories you would expect in a Fantastic Four book, because Fantastic Four is so like cosmic and weird. Like their stories that are told in that world are like so, I don't know, they're like when you go to a Daredevil comic, you expect like a certain like street level, you know, Kingpin or Bullseye or whatever. Fantastic Four is so cosmic to me. I think about like Galactus and Silver Surfer and all these like and planets and all these different like universes, and
they're almost like a Star Trek a little bit.
Yeah, right, exactly. So this book introduces like, well, to me they're introducing. They've probably been around for a long time, but to me it felt like they were introducing like all these different civilizations and worlds and like factions and wars going on, and every character had something to do, but they're also like all really well written and they all feel like themselves and they're funny. The Thing talks a little differently than I thought he did. I don't know if they like changed the way he talks for the movies, but in this book they sort of, I don't know if he does it on purpose or if he's just like sort of not the smartest. but he called Reed one time Dr. Stretcho Leaderman instead of Reed. I don't know. I guess he was just being funny. Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah. I mean, I laughed, so I thought it was funny. But Ben and Johnny have a great dynamic. And it's like the normal dynamic you expect with them, where they kind of like don't get along that much. But it also is like really sweet and has a lot of layers. And it has Franklin Richards in it, and he's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It has their other kid, Valerie, Valeria is her name.
Yeah.
But they call her Val. It features like all of the villains that you expect. It has a little Galactus, has a little Doctor Doom, has a little Silver Surfer. Like, it's got everything you fucking want.
Yeah.
And this is on the back of the book, so it's not like a spoiler. It's like right at the beginning. But Reed finds a how do I explain this without sounding stupid? He has this like portal, and he finds this world made up entirely of Reed Richards.
Hell yeah.
And so every Reed Richards basically in their universe, they're all the smartest person in their universe. And they decide to like come together as a team of like, not a team, because like there's like thousands of them, but they're all working constantly to try to solve the world's problems.
Oh, okay.
And they come to Reed Richards of like this story, and they're like, we want you to join us. Like, we need you for this problem that we're having. And basically they tell him like, if you join this, like the Reed Society, that they don't call it that.
Yeah.
But they were like, if you join the Reed Society, like this becomes your number one priority. And this is like the fate of the universe, like relies on us. So this has to be your number one priority, and you won't have time for like having a family. And so he's faced with like this decision, because he's such a man of like science and exploration, that it's hard for him to decide, like, is it more important for him to have a life at home, or is it more important for him to use his gifts to explore and find new cures to diseases or cures for famine, or like all these different problems that they have. And it's just really, it's like the best thing you could like challenge Reed Richards with, in my opinion. But yeah, really fucking cool. I want to get the rest of the book so I can finish that story, because it's awesome. And the director of First Step said that they used Jonathan Hickman's run as like a big like inspiration for the movie. So
Jonathan Hickman's really good. I think I'm pretty sure he's the one that wrote East of West, which is on my read list.
Yeah.
That looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a beast.
Yeah. They say that his run at Marvel was like legendary. But that's the last thing I read. Did you have anything you wanted to talk about?
Nothing really. Aside from watching stuff, I've just kind of been... I watched a few episodes of a show called Common Side Effects, which I was very put off by the aesthetic of it. But the first 2 episodes have got me pretty gripped. It's like an adult comedy. I was telling you about it before, but the characters are actually like pretty interesting, and the concept behind it is like, it's very like conspiracy theory-esque. And the whole idea is that this guy finds a mushroom that can cure anything, basically. Like if you get stabbed, it'll fix it. And now the government's after him. That's kind of the whole idea. But silliness ensues, obviously, because there's comedy behind it. But it like feels like a legitimate like show. It's very, very hard to explain, but the first 2 episodes were really awesome.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's one thing I remembered that happened that I don't want to skip past because I'll forget it. But we were at the movies watching... What were we watching? Probably one of our Superman watches, maybe. But there was a commercial that came up, and this is just like a funny thing that happened that I figured we'd bring up. It probably won't be funny like retelling it, but it was funny in the moment. But there was a trailer that came on, or it was a commercial, and it was Billy Bob Thornton came on the screen.
It was an AT&T ad.
AT&T ad, yeah. He's walking down this like dirt road on some farm, and he's talking, and then I lean over to Carl, and I go, Tommy Lee Jones.
Killed me, dude. It's like, hell yeah.
In the moment, it was really funny because I remembered. So I was trying to place that guy's name, and I knew he had one of those 3 names.
Yeah.
Where you say their middle name, and I knew it wasn't Tommy Lee Jones. That was a joke, but I also didn't know what his name was. But I knew it was like three names.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I just said Tommy Lee Jones. And I just thought it was funny, so
Yeah.
figured
That's
we'd-
awesome.
Figured
I love
we'd bring
that.
it up. But there's probably a lot of news we missed over the last month, but I do not feel like scrolling for a month worth of posts to find if we missed anything. So the only thing of note that I feel like we should talk about, at least briefly, is the Odyssey teaser.
Yeah. That, I don't know. I bought the Odyssey to read it before the movie. Haven't touched it.
Yeah, I know, because it's a book, so you haven't touched
I haven't touched it, but that teaser got me hard as a fucking rock, dude.
Yeah.
Fully boing boing in my pants.
What kind of prison can hold a man like that?
Oh my god.
Are you fucking kidding
Have you been
me?
practicing that?
Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I don't take naps, man. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say. There's barely any dialogue in it, but the shots look great. I love the shot of him floating on like the little broken piece of wood. There's a shot of him like I think it's Odysseus entering the cave.
Yeah.
Where I know what happens in that cave, but I'm not
Thanks
gonna.
to you, I know what happens.
I'm not. I offered a spoiler warning to the Scoopers for that scene, but I
Yeah.
thought it was so funny.
It is. It's
Hopefully, it's funny in in the movie.
I hope he hits him with a when he finishes it off. The cartoon goal.
Cartoon gulp, yeah. But yeah, the shots look great. I mean, Ludwig's score sounds fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds cool as shit, dude. But I mean, not much to say. I wish Tom Holland wasn't in the movie, but he looks like he's. I'm hating, but I do think Tom Holland's a talented actor, but I don't know. I just don't know.
I think he's got a bit of a limited range. Maybe I just haven't seen him in doing a lot
Well,
of
did you
different
see
stuff.
Devil All the Time?
No.
Oh, well, he's good in that, and he's got a country accent. I think he's a good actor, but I don't know. Something just feels off. And I also wish that Matt Damon wasn't Odysseus. I've said that before too. I love Matt Damon, but
Who would you fan cast? as
Gerard
him?
Butler.
Oh yeah.
I think Odysseus needs to be a badass, and I just don't really buy Matt Damon as that. Maybe he'll surprise me.
It's because he did that crypto ad, didn't he? Isn't it?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding. But it's like I watched Den of Thieves 2, and I was like, dude, that guy should be Odysseus. Like, he just has the voice. He has the screen presence. He's got, basically, like the youngsters say, he's got aura.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler has aura, and you buy him as a badass.
Dude, have you seen 300 yet?
No.
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
might be what we have to do when we finish this up, dude.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But yeah.
But you want to talk about badass?
Yeah. I love
He's
Gerard
got it.
Butler.
Yeah.
It should have been him or someone else. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm not really buying Matt Damon, but we'll see. I believe in Chris Nolan. That's who I believe
Yeah,
in.
if he could make anyone badass if he wants to.
I am subscribed to the Church of Nolan, and I don't believe he would muck up something so big.
No,
so
I don't
a
think-
casting so
yeah.
important.
If his next movie after he finishes The Odyssey, if he casts Michael Cera, I'd be like, all right, let's hear him out.
Yeah, guys, let's. This is Chris Nolan we're talking about, all right?
Yeah.
Let's give him some
I'd be
time.
like, hang on.
Yeah. But that's all the news. Probably not, but that's all the news we're going to talk about. We got some Letterboxd reviews. Did you ever get one?
I didn't.
Okay. Well, mine's pretty good, so hopefully that makes up for us only having one. This is by Amelia Marino. Wouldn't the wife notice his penis was different? Which also is something I thought about watching this movie.
That his penis is different.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know this movie. I'm trying to think.
You've seen it.
I know I've seen it. I don't know if I can put together what the movie is. I don't know.
I want to take his face off.
Oh, it's Face Off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about
Yeah,
that.
they only change his face. The rest of his body's their own body.
Yeah. Unless they're both just hung like horses.
Yeah, they both have 10 inches.
or
So the wife's like,
or they both have penises.
come on. John Travolta, a penis. That's a good one, dude.
I was gonna say I believe
Ooh,
John.
I'm good looking. You think a guy with a penis can say that?
I believe John Travolta would have a penis before I believe.
You know what? You guys are weird, man. Y'all are acting weird, man.
You guys are acting really weird.
I just want to hit the road, man. John Travolta of Wild Hogs fame. But I have another review from the same movie just because I thought it was funny. But it's the thrill of wearing another man's skin.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I don't like how you didn't think it was funny when I brought 2 to the table to try to create an equilibrium for you having none.
Yeah,
I feel like you could have, played it up a little more. Like, oh man, that was good.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
There we go.
That's what I'm. Now that's what's happening.
I'm Skinny Pete.
I'm Skinny Pete, man. Bad description. Guess the movie by the bad description.
All right.
Here's mine. A dog forces his owner out of retirement.
Oh, John Wick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Not super funny, but I was like, I just got to get something on the board.
You almost got me with that one.
Yeah.
I've got one. I hope to God it's funny. It made me laugh in my head. A dad wants to be forgiven for not getting a good night's rest.
Prisoners.
I like
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
good. How could he not know? All right. New segment, fellers. We're doing something called Guess the Impression. And we're going to do an impression of something. It's going to typically be like blank as blank or blank doing blank.
Yeah.
So the rule, like the only rule we're instilling is like, if I'm doing like a Bob Dylan impression, for example, I'm not going to sing a Bob Dylan song. I'm going to have him like making a sandwich or something.
Yeah.
So it doesn't give it away. Like, if I was doing Hugh Jackman and I was like, how could he not know? Then
I would get
that's a quote from a Hugh Jackman movie. So it's like, it's too obvious.
Yeah.
So you could do like, how could he not know, but like Ryan Gosling instead.
Yeah.
Like as long as it's not their movie. But that's the only rule. So you want to do yours first?
So I actually prepared 2.
Okay.
There's one that I know I can do, and then there's one that
I hope you don't steal mine.
No, I'd promise you to do this.
Okay.
But there's an impression that I think I can do, and there's an impression that I know how it should sound in my head, but I've never done it before.
Never done it, and you're
Never
trying it
done
live?
This
That
will be
is
the first
that is
time.
audacious of you, my
I have
friend.
not practiced this at all. So which one do you want me to do first?
The one you haven't practiced.
Okay. May thy knife chip and shatter. Chip and shatter. That's
Jack Black?
That is Jack Black, yeah.
Let's go.
Holy cow.
Chicken jockey.
How did I do, though?
That was
I was
good.
trying to do a Flint
That's
and
pretty good.
Steel thing.
Flint and steel. That was good.
Yeah,
dude.
that was Jack Black as Paul Atreides.
That was good. I like that.
I appreciate
Do the other one.
The other one?
Do the roar.
Okay. I don't trust people that take naps. It's like when you get home, like, no, be awake, do things.
Morty?
No. It's not more. I can't get my voice.
Is that
to
Jordan
go-
Peterson?
It is Jordan Peterson. I can't get my voice as high and whiny as Jordan Peterson. But that's Jordan Peterson as John Bernthal.
Let me tell you something, man.
It's like, no,
Let me tell you something, man.
I don't trust you. You need to be up and doing things. You got to get things done.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's good. This is mine. We already told you it was shaken, not stirred. All right? The name's Bond. James Bond. All right? Where are all these women around here? Why don't you go make me a sandwich?
That's old Jimmy Stewart. You're too good at that. Listen, you know what you should do? The next time we do it, you got to rip one live like I did with Jack Black.
That's so, like, vulnerable, though.
Yeah.
What if it's the worst? Well, it can't be worse than my Beetlejuice.
I forgot about the Beetlejuice.
What was the line that I said?
I don't even remember. I think you...
The juice is loose.
You went, the juice is loose.
I just said it. I just said the line like me.
I was like, what the hell is that?
Oh boy, I like guess the impression. I think we should keep that
awesome.
one on there.
I'll start
a month from now when we
random
record
things.
again, we should do guess the impression.
Yeah.
So, watch list is up. It's been a long time, but we got some shit to talk about.
Yeah, I've got some stuff on my watch list that I've wrote things down, but I can't remember if we talked about it on the last one.
We probably didn't.
It's a lot of not a lot of stuff. Yeah. There's a good amount of stuff.
All right. First up, something I love, and I told Carl to watch, and he did watch it. Steve Jobs.
Oh my God, I didn't even write that down.
Dude.
I didn't realize we hadn't recorded it.
It's been that long. It's been like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So, Steve Jobs, I watched it, and I was like, dude, that was fucking amazing. I told Carl to watch it, and I said, when you watch it, tell me.
I'll just come sit
and
down
I'll just come watch it again. And I did. And I watched it twice in a span of 6 days. So I just love it. I think it's like as good as The Social Network, if not better. It's Aaron Sorkin, of course, and Michael Fassbender is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He is ridiculous as Steve Jobs. And I love the way it's structured. It's so fast-paced. The dialogue is insane. And there's so many, like, moments that I thought were funny, too.
Oh, yeah.
There's a scene.
There's a lot of funny moments.
There's a scene where he's arguing with his, like, basically it's his baby mama. And she's asking for more money. But he's saying that he can see what she spends her money on. And he was like, did you spend $1,500 that I gave you to have someone bless your house? And she was like, yeah, I don't know how much it was. And he was like, it was $1,500. And then she was like, yeah, I mean, they're not cheap. And then he was like, yeah, they're not cheap. They charge $1,500.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they didn't do it for free. And he was like, nope, they charge $1,500.
They charge $1,500. Yeah. And then there's a part where he's talking to Jeff Daniels, and he's showing Jeff Daniels their trailer or their like commercial that they made for the MacBook, and it's a rip on 1984, and and he's showing it to him, and then Jeff Daniels is like, "Are those skinheads?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're just extras. They're just in the back." And he's like, "The skinheads." And he's
like, "Yeah, they fit the aesthetic."
He's like, "Yeah, they fit the aesthetic." And he's like, "Fit the aesthetic of skinheads." And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "So we paid them." He's like, "I have skinheads on my payroll." And that's what you're telling me.
Skinheads on my payroll. Dude, I almost did the bad movie description for Steve Jobs.
What were you going to do?
I was going to do a really smart, our genius tries to be cool while also dealing with his bitch wife, or his bitch ex-wife.
Nerd fucks everyone in the ass. Little box of garbage.
I will say, Steve Jobs is fantastic. Sometimes it's a little hard to follow what's going on. There's like a pivotal moment in one of the, like, you almost follow Steve Jobs through like 3 different eras.
Argument scene.
Yeah, the
Oh, that
argument
scene is so fucking
it's
good. It's so well
incredible.
made.
It's incredible, but I feel like it almost
It is a little hard.
It moves a little fast, is all.
Yeah.
And you have to follow everything that gets said and kind of follow this kind of
Maze of like
yeah,
events.
yeah. But it's not like it hinders the movie. It just makes you want to watch it again,
Right.
and understand it more.
Right.
But yeah, Steve Jobs. I gave it a 5.
Oh shit! I didn't know you gave it a 5. I did too. On second watch, first watch was 4.5. Second watch, I was like,
Well, the ending-
why am I fucking around?
The ending sealed the deal for me. The
The ending's
felt
so good.
so powerful, and I can't even explain why it was so good. It just felt, I felt amazing after I watched it.
I'm poorly made. Oh, dude, come on. That sounded weird if you haven't seen the movie, but it's a quote from the movie.
That's really cool.
Check that shit out, dude. What the fuck are y'all doing? Check out Steve Jobs. Not Jobs. Steve Jobs. Jobs is a movie with Ashton Kutcher. I will not be speaking about that movie.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Steve Jobs.
We're talking about the real deal.
Yeah. The Big Kahuna.
Yeah, the man himself.
Everyone go watch Steve Jobs. If we haven't sold you on it, come on.
Yeah, watch it, have a good time.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
How to Train Your Dragon remake.
I did not accompany you to
Gave
this.
it a 2. Didn't like it.
So I don't like the. Well, like I said, I don't like it. I'm not a huge fan of the How to Train Your Dragon animated movies. Mm-hmm. People love them like fentanyl.
It's an okay movie with a great score.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
agree.
it is. And I think that the remake is the type of movie where if you like the animated movie, you'll probably like this. It's the same thing in live action. And if you don't like the animated movie, you'll probably like this less than the animated movie because you're having to watch something you don't like twice.
Yeah.
So I did lower it a little bit from the original. I gave the original a 3. I gave this a 2. But I don't love either of them. And I just wasn't that into it.
Yeah.
But something I was into is Like Mike.
You watched Like Mike?
I did.
Oh my god.
Like Mike is quite the film.
It's been forever since I've seen Like Mike.
My review was, what kind of Like Mike are you? Because Jesse Plemons is in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to him. Shout out to Jesse. Like Mike is a movie of my youth. I watched it a lot. I went to a after school care as a youngster, and we didn't have a ton of movies, like DVDs, but one of them we had was Like Mike, and one of them we had was Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
That's, dude. You're talking about heaven right
And that created the man that I am today.
now. Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, Like Mike is a powerful pick for kids.
Yeah. Very good film.
I think that has Jonathan Lipnicki in it too, if I remember.
I don't know
The white kid.
who that is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Stuart Little.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh! That's the kid from Jerry Maguire. Oh, shit. That's awesome.
Yeah. He was also in The Little Vampire, thank you very much.
Yeah,
That movie's dog shit, dude.
Yeah, for some reason, it says that Calvin Cambridge was played by Shad Moss, but he was played by Lil Bow Wow. So,
Yeah, they must have gotten their
They fucked
their
up.
wires crossed.
yeah, they fucked up bad.
Yeah.
Dude, they got the main actor of the movie wrong.
Yeah.
What are you doing? I rewatched Drive. What do you want from me? I drive.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a night call, tell you how I feel.
I saw a scene from Drive the other day that I forgot about. It's him peering into that, was it a bar, wearing the mask?
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's awesome shit, dude. That's one fine motherfucking pussy mobile, motherfucker. You don't remember that?
No, I don't.
You don't remember when Driver says that?
No.
No, yeah, he doesn't. It's Ron Perlman.
Oh, yeah, I do remember.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman is fantastic.
Yeah, put Ron Perlman in anything. He was the saving grace. Well, no, he wasn't. It was still dog shit. But he was the best part of Alien Resurrection.
Yeah.
Yeah. That and the ad for Gun.
Yeah, the ad for Gun is really good. Yeah.
But yeah, Drive 5-star, fucking masterpiece. What do you want me to do? Shoot a rocket out of my pants? 28 years later.
This movie,
Carl actually went to the movies with me.
yeah, this movie features something that I am very passionate about, something that, I mean, I'm always thinking about how to incorporate in movies, and that's big, huge penises.
Yeah.
And
Mancock,
yeah,
if you will.
Just as big, muscular, thick girth, everything you could want.
Right. But what was confusing me, though, is in the movie, when the people saw the guy with the massive penis, they ran the other way. That's where it lost me.
Yeah. Well, it's fantasy. It's fantasy.
Yeah, it's obviously.
But yeah,
Dude, they're zombies. We can't be thinking about the logistics of this. This is made up.
There's fantasy, and then there's just like, come on.
Yeah.
And them running away from the big
It's
penis
like,
man.
at some point, how long can I suspend my disbelief
Yeah.
when I see people running the wrong way the whole time?
No, this movie was dog shit, dude. I fucking hated 28 years later.
Yeah, and I will say, not to say, I told you so. That was Michael Caine. On that day, so I won't want to.
Dude, have you been practicing that?
No.
I don't remember it being that good.
No.
That was... Come on, dude.
No,
That was
you're-
really good.
You're fooling.
You're fooling.
I don't want to be the I told you so guy or try to take credit for shit, but I am. I was not excited for this before I watched it. And when we were doing our Yap session, like our 2025 Yap session, talking about what was coming out this year, I said I wasn't excited for this. I would watch it, but I don't love 28 years later enough to want a sequel. Like, I watched it and I was like, that was pretty, like, for a low budget movie, I thought it was like pretty cool and well made.
Yeah.
But it's not something I'd really want to watch again, and it's not something I thought needed a sequel. And my inhibition was right. Inhibition? Intuition. My infatuation was right. All right. And I didn't like it. And a lot of people do, which is interesting. I am actually in the minority not liking it. Let me see what the average is.
Yeah, check what the average is. But
3.6.
I do remember you. That's crazy.
Evan gave it a 4.5. My buddy Evan.
He must have been like eating cereal or something while he was watching it.
No, he
only looked up when the man cock was on the screen, and he was like, "Oh my god, this is incredible!" And then
Yeah.
he'd go back to eating his Cheerios.
Yeah,
and
he
he'd
was
look up, and
probably
there was
like
another cock.
playing Halo 3 while I watched it, so he only saw the cock
talking
moments.
about a hell of a
I'd give
time.
it a 4.5 too.
Yeah.
If I'm playing a game, look over, see cock, go back to the game. That's a 5-star experience.
Yeah.
But I had to watch the whole thing. That's
Yeah.
the problem.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't care about anything that goes on in that movie, like any time almost.
Yeah, so I don't like the characters. I didn't like the story. I thought that the bullshit they did with the iPhones was stupid. I thought that they were talking up this camera rig for so long, like, oh, it's such a cool, like, Danny Boyle created this new camera technique with these 35 iPhones lined up in a semicircle around the actor. And then all the reviewers are talking about it, and they're like, oh, what Danny Boyle did with the iPhones in this movie is crazy. So I went in thinking, like, what's he going to do with these iPhones? Like, why are people talking up this camera move so much? And then I go see the movie, and it's a load of horse shit.
Yeah, it's a convoluted way of doing shaky cam.
It's the stupidest shit I've ever seen.
It's like a quick zoom shaky cam is what the final product looks
what
like.
it does is there's characters with bow and arrows, and they'll shoot a bow and arrow, and then when it hits the zombie, the camera will move basically in a freeze frame. It freezes on one shot and then moves the camera like maybe 90 degrees or 60 degrees or something. It adds nothing to the scene. It adds nothing to... We're not getting any new information because of this camera move. And it doesn't even look cool. It looks choppy and gross like a video game or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't look cool, and it serves no narrative purpose. The coolest camera moves are the ones that, A, look cool, are just like, whoa, that's fucking sick. And then the ones that actually provide a reason for existing. Mm-hmm. Like there's split diopter shots where it'll show two things, and both things are like important information in the scene.
Yeah.
There was one shot of something I saw. I can't remember I think it was Strange Darling that did it, but it was a split diopter of a woman, and then it had the zoomed in portion of the other side of the shot was her bedside table with prescription. You could see like she's taking pills.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is a split diopter shot that A, looks cool, and B, is conveying information.
Yeah.
So that's what you want.
And you can even look at action sequences like in Kingsman when they like the camera follows their fist or their leg when they do a kick and stuff to help follow the action faster or like easier on the eyes. Like that serves a purpose of like creating this fluid kind of rhythm of the action that's taking place, and it looks cool.
Yeah.
But this just like, it was like a random camera tilt. It just came off like a random cut is what it felt like in the middle of an action sequence.
Yeah.
And they did it anytime anything happened
right.
that was like an action.
Right.
So any arrow that was shot, they used that. Anything that was like a melee attack, they used that. It just...
I'm all for like
looks
pushing
stupid.
the boundaries and trying to do new things, but it just wasn't cool, and it didn't serve a purpose, but people were glazing it, and that's what made me mad. Is like people kept saying, "Oh, you got to see what he did with iPhones in this movie," and then it's a load of shit.
Yeah. And
so
then the beginning sequence I thought was going to be cool. It wound up being kind of weird, and then they tied that in with the end. That pissed me off. That was so insane and weird.
yeah,
I don't like any of the characters. The dad, they put a lot of emphasis on Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's like this, the dad of this like family, and he eventually gets basically nothing goes on with him. Mm-hmm. He just kind of like he's a bad guy, kind of a scummy guy.
yeah.
And then it's like, all right, that's him.
Yeah,
What the fuck, dude?
And what's dumb is slight spoilers for 28 years later. If you haven't seen it, skip ahead a little bit. But Ray Fiennes' character in the movie is somebody that is like this rumored really evil guy. They're saying like, don't go to he's called the Doctor. He's like the doctor of the region. And they say, don't go to him. Like we found him burning people. Like he's a mass murderer. And then when they showed the clip, like they put up something on screen to show like him killing people. And I saw it when they showed it. I was like, so basically he's lining up a bunch of bodies and then burning them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how do we know they weren't just like dead bodies already that were already dead, and he's just burning them so they like don't become zombies, or for whatever reason, just for space or whatever. And then the movie goes by, and then they eventually meet the Doctor, and he was like, oh yeah, I was burning dead bodies. And then I'm like, so this whole fucking shit is built on a miscommunication from someone being an idiot, from someone being a jackass,
like a Sandlot situation where they think that the dog is scary because
except those are
but it's a normal dog.
Except those are youths. And these are adults.
Yeah,
and it's like
not to mention they sell Aaron Taylor Johnson as this like badass.
Yes, ultimate badass.
And which is even crazier
he's
because
believing in fucking fairy tales.
Yeah, the son leaves the like town on his own to take his mom to the doctor, and then Aaron Taylor Johnson, the ultimate badass, doesn't do anything about it. Yeah, they completely stop. But I thought that he would fight for his family and like they would grow from that whole thing. He fucking stays at home.
Yeah,
and watches the
I thought
game.
when he found out his son was gone, it was gonna be this badass like charge through the gate. Like,
yeah, I thought that was gonna be like his arc of him like he's in a situation where like maybe he's taking his family for granted, or maybe dealing with his wife has kind of like pushed him over the edge and he doesn't know what to do, and like this was gonna be like a nice wholesome moment and bring everything together. The dude just fucking sits there and eats carrots.
He finds out his son has left to go find his mom in this really dangerous place, and he goes, they'll be fine.
The Napoleon Dynamite, dang it. Just sits down. What the fuck is wrong with you, dude? No attempt. They don't even show him trying to leave.
Yeah, he sucks ass.
Yeah.
Like, I hate that character.
Horrible.
Yeah, not good movie. Didn't like it.
And then the
no
reveal
thanks.
of what the Doctor was doing seemed like one of those. It seemed super pretentious.
Yeah.
It seemed really ridiculous, really dumb. And then I don't know why they gave all the alphas giant cocks. I thought they were cool initially, like because they're like finishing. Like you see one and he rips a guy's head off and his like spine is still
Yeah,
attached.
spine comes out and you're
I
like,
was
all
like,
right,
this
are
is
we
like
back?
Mortal Kombat finisher. That was pretty
Yeah.
awesome. But then you realize that's just what every alpha does.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why couldn't you just make them all do crazy shit
Yeah,
with their cocks out?
right.
But instead, they have this infatuation with ripping the head off of things
Yeah.
and then putting it up high. That's all they do. They'd put it up high somewhere, like putting it, like taking a toy from a kid that you don't want to play
Right,
with.
put it on the top shelf.
Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? What a bullshit movie,
Dude, what if we just ripped out all their heads and then like put them over there?
That's what it was.
But dude, we already have them. Like, what do you? Yeah, but what if they were over there?
But what if no one else could touch it but us?
Yeah, that movie's dog shit. But me and my pal went to see Brokeback Mountain in theaters.
We did.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
You know what's crazy? You try to fucking flame me for saying, yeah, you actually went to the movies with me, and we went to the movies together a lot.
Those are just the rumors.
Come on. You're dwelling on the negative, dude. You need to. You're the one running away from the hard cock now.
Is
You need to run
Brokeback
towards-
Mountain the negative?
No, I'm saying you emphasize that I don't go to the movies with you, and I went to a gay romance with you because you're the only person.
That
I
really
would-
surprised me. That
You're the
you
only
went.
person I would want to go to that with.
Yeah, you're. Oh,
Come on.
my little man. Brokeback Mountain. Depressingly, I actually dropped it a half star.
Would you have it? At?
I had it at a 5. I dropped it to a 4.5.
Oh, I don't know if I ever had it at a 5.
Yeah, it for some reason this time it just kind of dragged for me, and also it stuck out to me this time how I can't help but feel like it sort of condones cheating. And I know some people might debate that, but they do cheat. Like, these two men are cheating on their wives.
Yeah.
And you can say what you want about, like, oh, well, they didn't have great relationships with their wives. Doesn't matter. Get divorced. You're still cheating. So that kind of stuck out to me and kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I understand that, like, their connection with each other is greater than their connection with their wives. I understand that, but that doesn't make it okay.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I think that there is an element of they live in a time where they can never be openly with, like, they can't ever be themselves, basically. They have to put on this front of, like, a normal guy. You hear about the story that Ennis talks about, you know, with him being super, like, scared of, like, people finding out that they're gay, and, you know, they have to keep things hidden. And I do think that Jack is probably, like, known he was gay, but they know that they can never, like, do that, or
Right.
else people are going to ostracize them or, like, try and cause them harm and stuff. So there is an element to it where it's like, yes, it does kind of condone cheating, but they're in a world where, like, they can't ever love the person that they want to. Does that make sense?
I mean, that would be true whether they were married or not, though. I don't think that really comes into play when in this topic.
I mean, yeah, but they're also in the deep south, and I do think, like, he talks about just getting a ranch together, and he was like, you know, people are gonna look at you weird if there's two guys, like, living together, or like
No,
a guy
I
their
understand.
age, a guy their age that's not.
I
Like, married
understand they
with a
can't
wife.
be together. I'm not debating that. They can't go start a life together. It's not accepted. I understand that. But I'm saying once you get married, you're married.
Yeah, I'm
You
saying
have to.
that that's
You have
like,
to not do that anymore.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So them not being accepted by the world doesn't change anything. They're married now. So you're cheating. That's all it is.
yeah.
So it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know, and I had never really, like, noticed it or cared about it before, but now I do.
Yeah.
So
No, I get your point of view for sure. And I did feel like, I've got it at a 4. I did feel like it dragged a touch this go round.
it did. Yeah.
It seemed like there was
It was
not quite midway, but like just before midway.
The time jump to when they're both married
Yes.
is when it started to slow down. Like them on the job on the mountain, great. I mean, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
We're back. But yeah, when it time jumps to when they're both married, it drags a hair. But what can you do?
Once the women get involved, it becomes a lot less interesting.
Yeah, once there's a woman, I'd kind of checked out. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
So next up on the list is Superman 78, and I planned on doing a Superman episode with the boys. Mm-hmm. We're gonna talk about all the Superman movies before the new one came out, and obviously that never happened. And I apologize to my brothers, to my boys, for I don't know if they would have watched. I think most of them would have watched all the Supermans anyways, just because they do that when a new movie's coming out. Mm-hmm. But hopefully I didn't make them watch things and then not record the episode.
Yeah. Well, I kind of messed up on this one too because I was like, yeah, we'll definitely do that. And then we got to Superman 3 and I was like,
Yeah.
I think you got it.
So we never recorded that Superman episode. So yeah, sorry to the boys, but just didn't feel like it. I don't know. That's the best excuse I got.
Sorry, but no.
Yeah. But yeah, we watched Superman 78. I liked it for rewatch. I'd seen it before. Love Christopher Reeve as Superman. I did not realize how long it takes to get to Christopher Reeve in that movie.
That kind of blew me away,
I
too.
checked the time. 50 minutes is how long it takes for Christopher Reeve to appear on your screen. There's 30 minutes on Krypton. And
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm saying Krypton because that's how Marlon Brando says it.
Yeah.
Because he's a fucking jackass.
I promise you, they were probably filming that, and they were like, Marlon, it's Krypton. And he probably was like, no, I'm going to do it like this.
Yeah, no, the cast and crew have talked about how insufferable he was filming that. He sucks as a person.
I don't have any reference to point at that, but I can only imagine, he definitely, they're like, oh, Marlon, it's Krypton. Krypton.
Yeah.
That seems like something he would do.
Yeah. He does not give a fuck about the source material. He doesn't care about the story or the characters. He's just there for a paycheck.
Yeah.
And
I saw an interview of Chris Reeve saying that he kind of had to get mad at Marlon Brando.
Well, yeah. And he was it's weird to see an actor be so candid about things that should be kind of not talked about. But someone on a talk show was like, what was it like working with Marlon Brando? He's considered the best actor of the generation. And he's like, I wish I could say it was a good experience, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
He's not he was like, I didn't have a good time working with him. I think he puts himself before the work and before the project and before others. So it wasn't great.
Really inflated his ego.
Yeah. Yeah. He sucks ass, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't realize how long they spent on Krypton, and then it goes to Clark as a youth, and it just takes so fucking long to get to Christopher Reeve. And then once Christopher Reeve parts happen, I'm like, oh, this is good. So if you shave off 50 minutes, it's like a 2.5 hour movie. You shave off almost an hour, it's like an hour and a half of Christopher Reeve being awesome.
Yeah.
This is great. But there's so much shit packed in there that shouldn't be in there. And I know it has to be there because this was the world's introduction to Superman, so you have to show them,
but probably not that much. As much as I do
not
think,
as long, but
Yeah.
you do have to show the origin.
But I do think some of the stuff that they did filming on Krypton,
using the reflective
the
suits.
reflective stuff was really cool.
Yeah.
That was awesome looking, and just a really cool way to come up with a practical way to show alien kind of foreign things to us.
Yeah.
To, make them reflective. Yeah,
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, I gave it a 4. I like it. I don't think it's some untouchable masterpiece like some other people do. I don't think it's some ways it's aged well, in some ways it hasn't. But it's just doesn't. It's not like the superhero movies I like.
Yeah. I've got it at a 4.2, and I've thought about bumping it up to a 4.5. I don't think it's a 5, but I just get so happy watching it.
Yeah.
I'm just so
Just
happy.
wholesome and
Yeah.
nice.
I have a great time, so I'll probably bump it up to 4.
Yeah. Then we watched Superman 2. Still solid. Superman 2 got fucked in the production of it. They had Richard Donner come on to film it, and I think he filmed half of it, and then they fired him, and they got some other guy to come in and direct it. So that's why you have the Richard Donner cut, which came out in like 2006. So like long after these movies were done being made, they released the Richard Donner cut, which is apparently much different. I've never seen that cut. I watched the original version. But this one was like fine. I liked it because of the Clark and Lois stuff, but the villains are bad. And the villains in all these movies are bad. Lex Luthor is the most entertaining because at least you get Otis.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't think Lex Luthor is a bad villain.
I think he is.
He's a bad representation of Lex Luthor, but I think Gene Hackman is very charming, and his little lines are really funny. Him and Otis are funny.
No, I mean, they have some funny moments, but that doesn't make them good villains.
I enjoy them on screen, so I think they're fine.
I think all the villains in the Christopher Reeve movies suck ass. But Otis is great.
Otis is...
I gave
magnum
Superman
opus.
78 a 4 stars. 3 of those are for Otis.
Dude, he's so...
I don't think he wants me to do that, Mr. Luthor.
It's a little bitty place.
Otisburg?
Dude, that's so good. Oh, God.
Yeah, I love Otis. Shout out to Otis. But yeah, Superman 2 didn't have Otis, so obviously big step down.
That was where they fucked up bad.
Yeah. You expect me to watch this?
Without Otis.
Without Otis. Yeah. But the Clark and Lois stuff is great, and then the General Zod and the other 2 people are bad.
Yeah.
Bad stuff. Didn't like that at all. But because of the how well they did Clark and Lois, I still gave it a 3.5 because it's enjoyable enough. Mm-hmm. Next up, my phone locked, so I have to reopen it. Then I watched the Christopher Reeve documentary, which made me sad.
Yeah.
Made me very sad. And I don't want to talk about it. But Christopher Reeve was a great guy.
Yeah.
And one thing I didn't know is that he acted after his accident. He did a remake of Rear Window.
Yeah, you told me about
because he could lay down the whole time. Like they did a remake where he's like in a hospital bed. I think he has a hospital bed like in his apartment.
Yeah.
He's like, the character is like bedridden. So
Yeah,
he didn't have to move. And like he directed a couple movies too, like after his accident. So I just thought that was crazy. I thought once he had his accident, he like didn't do anything related to film anymore. But yeah, super sad stuff.
Yeah.
Not super sad stuff though is The Emperor's New Groove.
What made you want to watch that?
There was a third party involved that wanted to watch it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Emperor's New Groove, I think, is a very slept on.
I had never seen it once.
Really?
Yeah, it was my first time.
Holy cow. John Goodman's in it.
I avoided it as a kid because it had foreigners.
It had foreigners?
Yeah, as a kid, anything that was like Egyptian or Indian, I didn't want to watch it.
So you were a racist
Like-
as a kid?
You could say that. No, when it came to like movies, like if Aladdin came on, I was like, ugh. Like I don't want to watch this.
Dude, what the hell's going on?
Things like that though, and I thought the Emperor's New Groove was like that, and so I had never watched it.
I bet you if someone told you that Joe Dirt was in it, you'd watch it.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Yeah. I certainly would have. I got the poo on me. Yeah, Emperor's New Groove though, good stuff.
Yeah.
I really liked Kronk.
Patrick Warburton, I think is his name. Yeah.
Yeah,
Kronk's really good.
He's good stuff. I loved every second of Kronk.
What was John Goodman's name? Gazpacho? Or no, it's
Gestapo.
Gestapo?
No, I'm kidding.
Poncho?
Pacha.
Pacha. Yeah. I like Emperor's New Groove. I
Yeah,
need to rewatch
very
that.
funny. Very funny film. Then I watched Oppenheimer, because that's what men do.
Cold, dude.
Yeah, because
You follow up Emperor's New Groove with Oppenheimer.
yeah, the double feature.
I was up here, and now I just want to get ripped right down to here.
The way Nolan intended.
Dude, what the hell?
Emperor's New Groove,
You had
Oppenheimer double feature.
The Reeve documentary, Emperor's New Groove, Oppenheimer.
Emperor's New Groovenheimer.
Oh my
Are
god.
you kidding me? Yeah, Oppenheimer. It's awesome. That was my. Was that my third? I think that was my fourth watch.
I've only seen it 3 times.
That was my fourth watch.
Yeah.
That's crazy stuff. My Letterboxd review was I could do that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I wanted to think of something smart, but I was like, I can't. I don't have it in me. So I was just like, what's the stupidest thing I could say?
That was a good one.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a great review.
We watched F1.
Yes.
I gave it a 4. I had a lot of fun. I thought that the writing, like the screenplay, was not good. But the racing scenes were so much fun that I didn't care. I was like, this was fun.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was too long. I didn't like the music that they went with. So the movie starts with a rock song. What rock song was it? Do you remember? It was one that I actually like don't love.
Are you talking about when he like tries out for the race?
It's the beginning of the movie. It's like right when the movie starts.
I don't remember. I know he races is like his tryout to that Chris Stapleton song. That's like a kind of a rock sounding song.
Dude, what the? A Whole Lot of Love. That's what it is.
Yeah.
He walks out to Whole Lot of Love, and I was like, oh, are we
Zeppelin.
going to get like a rock, like a classic rock soundtrack for this racing movie? I was like, this is going to be awesome. That didn't happen. First of all, Hans Zimmer's score is good. I like Hans Zimmer's score. That's not what I'm talking about. His score is awesome. I'm talking about the soundtrack. The music that they picked was not good. They were playing like modern rap
Yeah.
over like, you know, racing stuff. And like Don Toliver and people like that. And I was like, this is not what I would picture from an F1 movie. And I kept, in my head, I kept replacing the songs they were playing with like what I would play. So when Tom Cruise was, not Tom Cruise, when Brad, I'm on my phone, so I got
you.
yeah. When Brad Pitt was like getting in his car about to race for like the final race, like this big moment.
Yeah.
It was playing some dumb song, but in my head I was playing this,
Oh my god, dude! I would have exploded in my
and I was like, dude, imagine how much fucking better this movie would be
Yeah.
if they incorporated like good music that gets people jacked to the tits.
dude, if I had a full range to make a badass movie like that,
If you want
it would
Bloods
just
in
be
there,
it would be just all ACDC.
ACDC,
She's got balls. Would
Hell's
be on
Hell's
there.
Bells,
Hell's bells.
yeah, it's all in there.
She's got balls is a deep pool. I don't know if many people know she's got balls.
Yeah. Start off F1 with Ram Ranch.
Yeah.
After F1, we watched Superman 3. Dude,
Here's the
let me
deal.
tell you something.
Here's the deal. I love Richard Pryor. I love Richard Pryor in movies. He's a funny guy. I don't know what the hell happened with Superman 3. They made him like extra goofy.
I like Richard Pryor, Carl, but you know what I love? Good movies. This made me shit my pants. This gave me swamp ass.
Jesus
if you will.
Christ.
I gave it a half star. I despise Superman 3 with every fiber of my being. It may have entered my top 5 worst movies.
Really?
Yeah. I really didn't like it because first off, the movie, it's a bad movie. I mean, first things first. Meat and potatoes with this. It's a bad movie.
Yeah.
It
we're
follows
cutting to the chase,
Richard
it's not
Richard
good.
Pryor's the main character.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering, oh, well, what Superman comic villain does Richard Pryor play? No one. He's a new character.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Okay, well, what powers does he have? He doesn't have any.
He's really good
He's
with
a guy.
computers.
He's a guy. And he's a guy that they show his job experience. He's like a handyman or something. Like he works with his hands. He's like a repair. He does repairs or something along those lines. And then he sees a sign. He's out of work. He got fired from his job. And he's out of work, and he sees a sign that says, get a job coding, like working with computers, and you'll get paid a bunch of money. So he's like, oh boy! And then goes and signs up. Instantly becomes Stephen Hawking.
Dude, he's Steve Jobs.
This is a guy with like no computer experience. Yeah. They're teaching him how to use the computer. And then all of a sudden, he's the smartest person in the world.
Yeah.
And it made me so mad because I was like, this is such an, like, if you want to go this route, if you want to go the route of the super genius guy that is good with computers and can best Superman with like technology, just write a character that is good at computers.
Yeah.
Like, it's, why'd this happen?
Well, it's weird because so he's supposed to be this like mega genius, but they have him do very like silly, weird slapstick comedy. Like he's an idiot. Like when he randomly steps into a set of skis and skis off a building on accident. Like that's insane.
Yeah. So it follows Richard Pryor, and his character's fucking stupid, and the story makes no sense. And the other villain in the movie, the rich guy, sucks. But the real sin of this movie is what they did with Superman. And Superman gets near kryptonite and then becomes Jack the Ripper.
Well,
I don't know who read any comic books on the set of this movie, because the answer is none. The answer is not a soul read a Superman comic, because Superman gets kryptonite poisoning and then becomes evil.
Well, so it's not actual kryptonite. That's the big thing, is that there's like an unknown element in kryptonite that they couldn't identify. So Richard Pryor just like fills it with tar, and it creates something like kryptonite. But instead of killing him, it turns him bad. But we don't really notice that at all. Like he kind of picks this thing up. He's like, "Oh, thanks," and then he's continuing to be good. And then he randomly meets up with this girl that he used to know, and then like they're on, I guess they're hanging out, or Superman comes over, and he's just like randomly insanely horny.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck is going on? And then after he's horny, he kind of like breaks out of this trance and then flies away. And he starts doing bad stuff. You're like, oh, I guess he's evil now. But your introduction to him being evil is him trying to fuck the shit out of this girl.
He blows out the candle at the Olympic race.
Yeah. He straightens the Leaning Tower.
Dude, okay, so that was one thing I thought was so funny.
Yeah.
So he flies to Italy?
It's Pisa.
He flies to Pisa, and
I have no idea.
And there's these people that live there that they're like the guys with like little shops, and they sell T-shirts of the attractions and everything. And there's this guy that's selling Leaning Tower of Pisa shirts and
little figurines.
Yeah, and little figurines and bobbleheads and shit. And then Superman comes and straightens it so it's not leaning anymore. And then the guy gets mad because he's like, I have all this shit. Like, I'm trying to make a living here selling Leaning Tower of Pisa shit. Now it's not leaning. No one's going to buy my shit. And it's like this funny thing. And then at the end of the movie, Superman comes back when he's good, when he's turned good, and he makes it lean again. And then the guy has all this straight Tower of Pisa merch because he adapted to it being straight now and got all this straight Tower of Pisa shit. And now he's mad again because he's like, I just went and fucking got rid of all my leaning shit for this straight shit, and now I can't use it anymore. And I thought that was like really funny.
Yeah, that was a really good joke.
Yeah. But yeah, Superman 3 is the bane of my existence. Superman 4, also really bad.
I feel so bad for Superman 4 too, because I saw someone talking about it. I don't remember who it was, but they said that Christopher Reeve said that he wasn't going to do it, and that he felt like he aged out of the role, but they kind of approached him with this idea, and he thought he could make it like a very important like message, and he was really into it. And then obviously it didn't pan out anything like what he had imagined, but he was already like obligated to do it.
Yeah. It's really bad movie.
Yeah. I think it was originally supposed to be like almost like an anti-war movie with like nuclear weapons being like a big part of it, but I guess studio interference fucked the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but
Yeah, Lex Luthor finds a strand of Superman's hair and then creates a soup and then sends it to the moon or sends it into the sun, and then it creates a clone of Superman. Because that's the traditional method of cloning.
yeah.
Creating a Superman soup and blasting it into the sun.
I'm more familiar with you take a dead guy and you put him in a pool of pee,
Oh,
and then
right.
you put some blood in there.
The
and then
oldest
he
trick in the
become-
book. I mean, that
Yeah.
that's what our ancestors used to do.
Yeah.
You know,
You soak something in
back
pee,
in the golden age,
yeah,
because
that's like a pet cemetery.
Pea's golden.
Yeah. Yeah, pee.
Yeah.
I get it. Golden shower.
Up
that's
top.
That's like a pet cemetery. You put someone in pee, they're coming back.
Yeah. Superman 4 sucks dick. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Okay.
Superman Returns. Now, Carl has talked to me before about Superman Returns, and he was like, that movie's bad. Like, I remember it being pretty boring, but I do want to watch it with you so I can hear Kevin Spacey say, Kryptonite. And I was like, he's making that up. Like, I was like, he's not remember. Obviously, he was a youth and he's not remembering well because he would never say it like that. And then I watched the movie, and
By God,
I had a come to Jesus moment when I realized that Carl this whole time was doing a spot on impression of how Kevin Spacey says kryptonite in this
impression
movie.
of Kevin Spacey saying kryptonite. And you know what really sucks though is like, I do remember Superman Returns. I remember not liking it even as like a kid. I remember like, this is like weird. But there's two scenes in Superman Returns that I remember being like, holy shit, that's awesome.
Yeah,
And I was excited for you to see the two scenes, and then you'd already seen the two scenes without watching the movie. And I went, God dang it. Mm-hmm. So that kind of took the lead out of my pencil.
yeah. Distract the scoopers for a second.
Okay. The two scenes I'm talking about, I guess mild spoilers for Superman Returns, was him catching the airplane, and then the random bank robbers that somehow planned out mounting a hydraulic arm to the roof of a building with a fucking Gatling gun on the side. Whoever plans like that is absolutely insane. But they start shooting Superman and the bullets bounce off. And they have this super awesome up close shot where he like shoots a handgun directly into Superman's eye, and it like flattens out and falls to the ground. I thought that was pretty sick. But yeah, the movie's insanely long, and they do weird stuff with Lois Lane and the guy that she starts like dating, and it's somehow, I didn't even know this when I was a kid watching it, it's somehow tied in. It's like a sequel to the Christopher Reeves movies, which I think is
Yeah.
an insane thing to do.
So I've got the goods. All right.
Hit it right now, dude. Why did they do that?
Because he's awesome. Forget about the fact that he touches kids. You're thinking about the wrong.
I don't even think about that.
You're getting distracted.
I think about him jerking off to the Normandy scene in Saving Private Ryan.
He said that?
There's a guy that said like he invited him to. He was like, "Hey, this Saving Private Ryan movie, I can get us a private theater basically." And he said they got to that scene and he looked over and Kevin Spacey was jerking off.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, dude.
What the hell?
What, you want to talk about a power move?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, I had it in my head that Kevin Spacey was a bad guy, but now I'm conflicted. I was thinking about him finding out he's a pedophile, and then he was like, "Guys, I'm gay."
Yeah. That also happened too.
Like
What a great
Kevin,
cover.
that wasn't the issue here.
What a great cover, dude. If I ever
Imagine Dahmer pulled that. Like they found all his bodies of black men, and he's like, "What do you have to say for yourself, Dahmer?" And he's like, "Guys, I'm gay. Like what is that a crime now
Can
to
you
be
guys
gay?
not
To like
connect the
men?
dots here? Clearly, I'm a
I
homosexual.
like man cock. What do you want me to do?"
Dude, if I ever fuck up and like burn someone's house down and they arrest me, I'm be like, guys, I like men.
Guys, I'm colorblind. Obviously, I couldn't tell what was going on.
Yeah, clearly I like men and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah. What are you gonna? You're gonna indict?
What, are you gonna arrest me for being gay now?
You're gonna arrest me, a gay man? Ha! I'll see you in court,
Good
buddy.
luck with your reputation, asshole.
Oh man, yeah. Superman Returns is boring. It's not as bad as the two final Reeve movies, but it's just boring.
How do you feel about what's his name? Brandon Routh?
He's fine.
I don't know.
I don't hate him,
It's been a while since I've seen it, but seeing him as like Superman,
He didn't feel like Superman to me, but I
did
also
not.
didn't.
he was
like-
really quiet. Like he didn't really have like, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
watching Christopher Reeve and watching him, it felt like very different
Whiplash.
people.
Yeah. Not the biggest fan, but I also don't want to shit on him because I don't think no matter who was cast, that movie wouldn't have worked.
Oh yeah,
so.
not at all.
I watched Jurassic World Rebirth. Bad
Figured.
movie. My hot take with the Jurassic World franchise is that the formula of people go into dinosaur territory, try to survive, and then survive, that formula is done. No, that should happen no more.
Yeah.
There's no more we can do with just people being surrounded by dinosaurs and trying to survive.
Yeah.
That is done, and I think that the Jurassic World franchise should take a note out of Matt Reeves' book with the Planet of the Apes. And I don't know if it would
Make
work.
the dinosaurs talk.
Well, I don't think it would work to have them talk, but I do think there's a way to show them communicating with each other, almost in like a silent film kind of way. And I think that they should switch these movies to be from being human focused to being about the dinosaurs. And instead of villainizing the dinosaurs and making them just these big things that we're supposed to be scared of, actually diving into the dinosaur habitat and community and actually tell a compelling story where we follow the dinosaurs and then the humans coming in are the bad guys. That would be a lot more interesting to me.
What's crazy is that they've already set that up. I don't remember which Jurassic Park, but there's a scene where they like trap a velociraptor and he starts calling out to other velociraptors. He starts doing this like weird call.
Well, there's moments in almost all the movies where they sort of make one of the dinosaurs a hero. At the end of the first Jurassic World, they have
No, this wasn't like this was like Jurassic Park. This is like dinosaurs
know.
were scary. This
I
wasn't
know.
even, yeah. But I do like that idea. I think the coolest idea that they proposed or they led to in the Jurassic World side of things was that the dinosaurs are free and now exist in like big cities, everyday life. There's a dinosaur. But then they didn't do anything with that, to my knowledge.
Yeah.
They like teased that, and they randomly teased human cloning for some reason. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, fuck all that. They're still just on this one island.
Yeah. They have no idea when it comes to screenplays what to do with this franchise. And I think they really just need to go in a new direction. Start following the fucking dinosaurs. Like, make us care about the dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. You do like almost like a live action Land Before Time kind of thing.
I haven't seen that, but yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, do that. But just making dinosaurs scary and have humans that we don't care about trying to survive, it's just extremely old now, and we need something new. So stop that. I rewatched The Batman, because of course I did.
Hell yeah.
11th rewatch.
Gotta get it in.
This was the day before we saw Superman, and I guess I was just like, I don't know why I did that. I don't know what connection I made, but I was like, I'm about to watch something good tomorrow, so I need to watch something good tonight.
You wanted to get all the cum out so that you would have fresh cum for Superman.
I needed to reload.
Yeah.
I needed to do a cleanse of my,
Of your seat.
semen pipe.
Your semen pipe.
Yeah, it's the Batman. Dude. It's the Batman. All right. Come on.
Believe it or not, it's the Batman.
Then, okay, we're going to skip Superman for now and talk about it last. I got 2 more things to talk about. I rewatched The Way Back. Let's go.
Awesome.
Still awesome. Gave it a 5 this time.
Ooh.
I
You
love
didn't have
The
it
Way
at
Back.
a 5?
Dude. No,
I thought
4.5.
Oh.
Yeah. I love The Way Back. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a coming of age story about a introverted boy that's going on a vacation with his mom and his stepdad, basically,
Yeah. It's
that he
mom's
doesn't get
boyfriend.
along with. And it's about, finding yourself and finding a community of people that accept you, and how the people around us make us who we are, and that there's this kid that's very introverted and seems very shy and weird at first, but then when he finds these people that sort of push him and make him come out of his shell, you see who he really is. And I think that that's just beautiful, and I resonate with a lot of things in the movie. I feel as a kid, I'm less so now, but as a kid I was definitely very awkward and like socially awkward, and I resonated a lot with the main character. But also Toni Collette in this movie reminded me a lot of my mom, and her, like, I'm not going to get too much into it, but her dynamic with Steve Carell's character wasn't unfamiliar. And so there's just a lot of dynamics in the movie that I resonate with, so it's very personal to me. And it's also, like, really funny.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's got great music. It's got great performances. Sam Rockwell as just one of my favorite characters ever, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's so good.
he's so good.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone go watch it. It's a perfect blend of like hope and sorrow
Yeah.
mixed together. It's great. Last thing, Eddington.
Eddington.
More like
Edgington.
more like bad movieington. More like Deadington.
Yeah.
More like
Directed by Farty Astor.
now we're talking. That's what's happening.
Yeah, that movie was shit, dude. Yeah, Eddington fucking sucks.
Yeah.
I don't think I hated it as much as Beau is Afraid.
Dude, I think if I had to rewatch one, I'd probably watch Beau's Afraid.
Really?
I think so. I think I like Eddington less. I knew I wasn't gonna like this. I went in with an open mind, but I hated Beau is Afraid, and the trailers for this was just like not for me. It seemed very political, and I hate politics. I hate talking about it. I hate watching movies about it. And this is Politics, the movie. And it seems like Ari Aster was like, how can I jam every controversial political idea into one movie? And that's just not a fun watch for me. I hate talking about everything that's talked about in this movie. And I also, outside of that, I think it's just not very well constructed. I think it's way too long. And there's so much. I mean, I think if you cut this down to an hour and a half and you make it, you know, really, I think that's the main issue probably. I mean, I don't think it's that well constructed even outside of the runtime, but I think if you make this an hour and a half, it could have been like an enjoyable little like political satire. But it is so long, and the characters I just don't really give a fuck about, and I don't think like it's thematically really doing any, or narratively, like I don't think it's really doing anything interesting or new. It's almost like he's just bringing up these things, and he's like, remember when this happened? And it's not really like, you remember when we watched Men, and it was like, he's trying to say that men are bad, but like not giving you a new perspective or any new ideas that you didn't already know. He's like, well, some men are rapists. And we're like, well, we know that. Like, what? Like, you're not giving a new, like, if you're gonna get political or get, you know, get into things like that, you need to be bringing something to the table that's gonna like paint a picture a different way. But Eddington is just like, remember when we had to wear masks, and like, remember George Floyd, like, you remember all this shit, and it's not really like, it's not adding anything new to the conversation. It's just like rehashing it and saying like, remember when that happened, but taking way too long to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Like, I don't like super political stuff either from any side. Like, I just...
Leave me out
like,
of it.
Yeah, leave me out of it. But if you are going to do something about, like, centered around something I don't like, at least have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Eddington really didn't.
Right.
They introduce a lot of different things that kind of steamrolls from one thing to another thing to another thing to another thing, and all it is kind of making fun of it, but it doesn't really feel like, it's not super funny.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a problem if you're doing like a satirical movie that's supposed to be funny. It's not that funny.
Yeah, there's one moment that's very funny.
Yeah, there is the one.
I'm gonna get into a brief spoiler. Okay, I'll try not to take too long talking about it, but it is like a pretty big spoiler. So skip ahead if you haven't seen Eddington. Okay, I'll give you a couple seconds.
This cold cash.
Okay, right at the end of the movie, Joaquin Phoenix gets stabbed on the top of his head. Yeah. And I found it, for one, to be the funniest thing I've ever seen in my entire lifetime.
Never seen somebody. This guy charges right at him.
The scene had ended like 10 minutes ago, and Carl saw me like bent over, like just like, I could not get over how funny it was to me, because it's like, it's Joaquin Phoenix at the end, and there's this guy running at him with a knife. So it's like this build-up. It's intense, and he's running towards the camera, and Joaquin Phoenix is yelling, and he's going, ah! And then the other guy's yelling. And then right when he gets up to Joaquin Phoenix, all the sound cuts out, and then he stabs him right on the top of the head, and it just goes... Dude, I can't... It's something you just have to see for yourself.
It's a perfect, like, icicle. He came straight down on top of his head.
Yeah.
And he made no move to defend himself.
Yeah.
He took a knife.
I found it to be so funny. And if it comes to streaming, just skip to the end of the movie so you can see that. It's worth seeing that scene for that. Yeah. But the rest of the movie I hated. But that one part I thought was so funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the movie is just, he fisted a ton of shit into it with nothing to say.
Yeah,
and there's elements of COVID, which some of the political elements I thought we were kind of over all that, and you were like, no, people still talk about it all the time. COVID, I feel like, is only really talked about as like a conspiracy now, of like the government having inflated it. Like, no one really goes back and was like, this, really was this and this and this. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like people don't really talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
But that's
and no one likes talking about it anymore.
Yeah.
It was a depressing time. No one likes that shit.
So that's in it, like other random stuff that they shove in it. There's a whole like political thing that kind of goes into with his wife and like abuse victims. Mm-hmm. That never goes anywhere.
Right. The Austin Butler charismatic like cult leader thing was like, I thought the script could have been rewritten to be a lot more interesting if the movie was more so centered around his character, because he was like really charismatic and like fun to watch, but he had like 4 minutes of screen time. So I wish that he was in the movie more, but they didn't really do anything with him, and I didn't even really like see his purpose in the film.
He doesn't have one other than to just get rid of Emma Stone.
Yeah.
Get rid of her character so that it can be Joaquin Phoenix in this town.
Yeah.
But then it's like, just have that to begin with.
Yeah. Didn't like it. Bad movie. Bring back Ari Aster horror movies, please. Please and thank you.
Yeah.
He's made 2 horror movies, and they're both good. He's made 2 movies with Joaquin Phoenix, and they're both bad.
Joaquin's got a
quick
bit of
maths here.
Joaquin's got to get a bit of a skid mark on his career
Yeah,
right now.
and it's, to be clear, I'm not faulting Joaquin Phoenix. It's not, he's just an actor. But I'm saying it's Ari Aster's fault. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So stop working with Joaquin Phoenix. Y'all just can't figure it out together. Go back to making horror movies. That's what we should do. He should be directing Clayface. That's what should have happened.
After these 2, I don't know.
Oh, shut up.
I don't know.
You would not pick James Watkins over Ari Aster to direct Clayface.
I thought they did. I thought they picked Mangold for Clayface.
No, that's Swamp Thing.
Oh, I must have been confused. Yeah, I was thinking Mangold. Yeah, I don't know who the other guy is.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know.
Yeah, let's get this random guy
Well, the problem
to
is,
direct
like-
Clayface instead of the person who made Hereditary.
Well,
Hang yourself.
the problem is now, like, with that source material, he can go off the rails like it kind of has been with these last
No,
2
the
movies.
script's done. The script's written. He's just directing it.
Yeah, I guess if they don't let him make changes.
Yeah. No, the script's done.
Yeah. If you
You're
can be
just
like,
being gay. You're just being a hater. And I'm
pretty
an Ari
sure-
Aster hater too, but not with horror. He is a god at horror, but he just decided not to do it anymore. So,
bit of a weirdie.
yeah, so he needs to stop messing around.
Yeah.
Did you have anything you needed to talk about?
I do. I've got quite a watch list.
Oh, good.
I'll try to make it fast so that we don't go nuts here.
Okay.
I can take off the old Superman since we talked about that. I watched Predator Killer of Killers. I don't know if I talked about that last time we did the podcast.
No, I don't think so.
Predator Killer of Killers is like an animated movie that they released. I think it kind of ties in, or it's going to tie in with Predator Badlands. I thought it was pretty awesome. It's broken up into 3 different stories about predators, like fighting people or people fighting predators in different eras. So one there's like is like Norse and they're fighting Vikings are fighting a predator. Another one is like feudal Japan with samurais fighting a predator. The third story is where it kind of gets a little weaker. It's like a World War I pilot fighting a predator. And there is a cool dogfight sequence, but I didn't really like that one as much. And then there's a final act, which I won't spoil anything for, but there's a final act in the movie that that's where I think it kind of ties into, it's going to tie into Badlands a little bit, and it's kind of setting up some stuff. But I thought it was really cool. I thought it was a cool thing to watch. I would definitely check it out. Cool stuff.
Okay. I don't mean to interrupt your watch list, but I just remembered something big that we didn't talk about. Denis directing Bond.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot that you said that.
Yeah, it was a while ago, but we haven't recorded since a while ago. So, yeah, Denis directing the new Bond, and I'm conflicted on it because I love Denis. So anything, I mean, it's gonna be probably my favorite Bond movie ever. Like,
yeah.
I'm sure I'm gonna love it, but I just don't think that Bond is something that will amplify his strengths as a filmmaker. I think that he's great with sci-fi and taking you to another place, taking you to another world, and immersing you in this, like, in different environments. And Bond is just Earth. You know, it's just a normal place. It's just a normal action movie. There's not much like world building, and I think it's almost like the best way to describe it is I guess I think it's a little beneath him. Like I just wish he would do other things because I don't think you have to be like the most talented guy in the world to make a Bond movie. I guess maybe I'm just not really a huge Bond fan. Maybe if I was a bigger Bond fan, I would love this, but I don't know. It's just it doesn't get me that excited. That's not even necessarily true either because it's Denis. So anything he makes, I'm gonna be there day one, and I'm probably gonna love it and give it 5 stars. But I don't know. It just doesn't seem like some perfect fit like a glove thing. When Denis was announced to direct Dune, it was like, yeah. He was coming off Blade Runner 2049. Like, yeah, he directs Dune. Duh. This doesn't feel like that. I think maybe like Chad Stahelski would feel like that. Obviously, that would make a lot of sense. Maybe somebody like
Brett Ratner.
Maybe even like the Wachowskis directing Bond would make sense. But Denis, I guess I just think it's a little beneath him, and I wish he would do something a little more like crazy. But
no, I get it. I kind of feel the same way of like I wish he would do something wild, like fucking blow my hair off kind of stuff, like with like Arrival and shit like that. Something I haven't seen before. I love it when people do stuff like that. But yeah, I'm still excited for Bond. I think I'm a bit of a bigger Bond fan than you, but
the only ones I've seen are the Craig ones, so that probably hinders my love for Bond. But I have the whole set, and I plan on binging through like every movie soon.
Yeah, I've seen like the older ones too, and I even played
I played GoldenEye.
Yeah,
Don't get it twisted.
GoldenEye, but I played like other James Bond games too, 007 games, and I agree with you. The idea of like spies and stuff isn't as interesting to me as him doing like another. If he were to do like a fantasy movie or a sci-fi movie or just something wild,
Yeah.
like I would much rather him do that. If I could move the chess piece a different direction, I would.
Yeah.
But I'm still excited.
Like I wish that they gave Bond to Lee Winnell.
Yeah.
Like he's proved himself with Upgrade as he has a taste for action, and that movie also looks really good. And then Wolfman was bad, so maybe like let's get him out of horror, get him back into action.
Yeah.
And like that would be interesting, and that would be exciting, but like using up our best filmmaker, our top, one of the top 2 filmmakers in my opinion on Bond is just not really necessary. But what can you do? Maybe he'll do one movie. Maybe he'll spend 2 years of his career on Bond, and that'll be it, and he'll move on. And great. But if it's like what Dune is to him, where he's like spending, well, let's see, he started in 2019 on Dune, so it's gonna be like 8 years on Dune. I don't want him to spend 8 years on Bond.
That's the thing, though. I feel like Bond is very easily a franchise piece. And
I think Bond should change directors. I think it should be like Mission Impossible was at the beginning, where they get a new director every movie.
Hopefully it's not the case, but it is going to suck if it winds up being like he's just basically just bouncing back and forth between Bond and
he's going to become like James Cameron with Avatar.
Yeah. Horrible.
Oh, James Cameron just announced he's making a movie called The Ghosts of Hiroshima about survivors of a survivor from the bombing.
I think that's a book.
Well, it is a book, but it's not out yet. So
the book?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I might have read like an excerpt from it or something, but I'm familiar with it.
Yeah. He like got his hands on it before it came out. That happens a lot in Hollywood, but he's directing the movie. But it's just cool that he's making something not Avatar.
Yeah,
I've been waiting for that.
Thank God.
But yeah, you can go back to your watch list.
Next on my watch list is a movie called Apostle, which is a Netflix movie. But it's got what's his name? Dan Stevens Is that the guy's
Yeah.
name? Yeah. It's got him in it, and it was really interesting because he's like infiltrating this cult almost, but then it kind of peters out towards the end. I don't really like the direction they took it towards the end, but it kept my attention. It was all right.
Okay.
You know, is what it is. And then I watched Dazed and Confused.
Oh yeah.
Your recommendation.
Yep.
I liked Dazed and Confused. I didn't love Dazed and Confused. I gave it. I think I gave it like a 3.5.
Too low.
Yeah, I didn't really connect with it as much as like Everybody Wants Some and like Shake Shack. I think is better.
Shake Shack, yeah.
But it was good. I like movies like that. I gave it a 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, Snack Shack.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we go. Every time. Every time.
Yeah.
And then I watched a movie called The Blood of Heroes.
That's a cool name.
It's a really cool name. And when I tell you about this movie, it's going to sound even cooler.
Okay.
But it's a fucking a post-apocalyptic sports movie. About it. The sport doesn't exist. It's a made-up sport that they play. And I think, I can't remember what they're called, but these guys just like roam the wasteland, and there's like 3 linemen basically on each team has like 3 linemen. It's like a fight to the death, and then they have a skull that they're using as like a football. So it's like a gladiator football thing. It's fucking insane.
Sounds pretty cool.
It does sound cool. It's not good,
Oh.
but it's wild that movie exists.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Badass name, crazy. It's a Mad Max, fucking Remember the Titans concept.
I'm hard.
Yeah,
Just from that.
I gave it points for like creativity, but I would never watch it again. I think that would be a hell of a movie to remake. That'd be a cool pick.
Hell yeah.
And then I watched Primer. That is a very confusing movie. It is good. I thought it would be more. I don't know. I thought it would be more like sci-fi, but it's confusing because it just throws you into the mix of things, and it introduces you to a lot of things that don't actually matter to the core of the movie. Like there's a lot of characters that get introduced that don't really matter, and the movie was made by like an engineer, and he didn't want to dumb down the dialogue between characters for audiences because he's like, these characters are smart, like they're building something, and it wouldn't make sense for them to talk about it in like layman's terms. So it's definitely a movie that I think you have to watch. Like I had to watch a video like explaining this initial loop that happens and kind of like what they're talking about, and I like it. I even went on Wikipedia and I got directed to this insane page about this loop. But I thought it was really interesting, really cool, pretty confusing. So maybe I'll like it more if I watch it again, but definitely worth a check out.
Hell yeah.
Then I watched See No Evil, Hear No Evil, or Hear No Evil, See No Evil. I can't remember. It's a Richard Pryor, Gene Wilder movie. Fucking love it. It's great.
Let's go.
Richard Pryor's hilarious, Gene Wilder's hilarious, and they are so sweet together. It's awesome.
Let's go.
Gene's a deaf guy, and Richard is a blind guy. And they play on that all the time.
Classic.
Yeah. And then I watched Superman versus the Elite because I saw a YouTube video of a guy saying that it was like the best Superman movie, or one of his favorite Superman movies, and it was good. It's an animated movie. And
Also, it's not real.
no, it's not real.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's an animated movie, and I don't know if the Elite were made for that movie or if they exist. That's the only time I've ever seen them, so I think they were just made for that movie. But it's kind of like Ego, this team of, supposed heroes come together and they kill the bad guy basically. And Superman's like, guys, we can't do this. Everyone kind of starts to idolize the Elite because they're like, no, these guys are like finishing. They're giving people, real justice, and Superman's way doesn't work. And they kind of play on that a lot.
Interesting.
So, it was good.
Cool. That's the last thing.
That's the last thing.
All right. Time to talk about
The Big Kahuna.
Superman.
Superman. James Gunn's Superman.
I, for one, have seen it 4 times. Count them. 4
Oh my god.
times.
I think I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
You're a loser.
Oh my god. You could go for a fucking PA.
Yeah, the other night I went to go see I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, or whatever the fuck it's called, the new one. And as I sat down and trailers were playing, I was like, what am I doing? I was like, why? I don't want to watch this. Like, why am I here? And I just got up and left and walked around until I found a Superman showing, and then I just sat down and watched Superman.
Dude.
And I came
That's
in.
awesome.
I came in, and Crypto was dragging him to the fortress, and I was like, I was right at the beginning, like it had just started, and I was like,
Welcome
I'm home.
Yeah.
I was like, this is my fortress.
Yeah.
Watching Superman. Yeah, obviously we're quite fans of Superman. It lived up to my expectations. I think there's like a couple minor things that bug me. I think too much was shown in the trailers.
Absolutely.
I felt like a lot of the things in the movie were really good, but they were things like I already knew happened, which was disappointing. I really wish trailers would stop showing so much. And maybe I just need to be better at like not watching things, but it's also like on social media.
Well,
So like I'll get on Twitter and I'll see a GIF of like Superman spinning around with his laser vision, and I'm like, I can't avoid that.
That's the thing is like you can try and avoid trailers, but there's certain movies like Superman was marketed so hard that there was no way like you didn't see the Superman trailer.
Yeah. I can avoid trailers for like small little movies.
Yeah, I could avoid the trailers for Eddington. Like I
Yeah.
could have never watched a trailer for that and like avoid been fine. But Superman was everywhere. The big blockbusters are very hard to avoid.
Yeah. So I thought too much was shown in the trailers, so it kind of felt on first watch like I was almost like going through the motions, which sucks. But I mean, where do you even start with a movie like this? I love David Cornsweet. I think he's my favorite Superman. I think he encapsulates the best things about the two most prominent Supermen to me are Christopher Reeve and Henry Cavill. And I think he encapsulates the great things about both of them, which is Christopher Reeve's heart and charm and whimsy, and Henry Cavill's physicality. I think he's the best of both worlds, and he's got great chemistry with Lois Lane. We don't get a ton of Clark in this movie, especially at the Daily Planet. You only get one scene of him at the Daily Planet, which is disappointing, but it makes sense because there's so much happening, like important things happening, that he has to be Superman all the time. But I think the Justice Gang was really well balanced, and they didn't take up too much time. They took up like just the perfect amount where they were like, they had a reason for being in the movie. Guy Gardner and Mr. Terrific were obviously the standouts. They were really funny. I keep thinking about Guy Gardner busting in that building and going, dude, you have a secret harem?
I still have no idea what a harem is.
Oh, it's something that Muslims do where they have like a section of their house where they keep women to like breed with.
That's bro, you have a secret harem.
Yeah.
I had no idea. I didn't know what it meant, but it's so because he mentions it once. Lex Luthor mentions it once in that press conference, and then
It gets brought up 8 times the rest of the movie.
Talk about his secret harem throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah, Guy Gardner's really
That what
funny.
should be what?
That what should be what? And then there's a really funny part that like no one in my theaters ever laugh Like, no one in my theater ever thought it was as funny as I did, but Lois Lane's going to the... Well, this is going to be spoilers, by the way. Lois Lane's going to the Justice Gang to say, hey, like, Superman's in a pocket universe. We got to help him. And then they basically all say, like, fuck off. We're not helping him. And there's one part... This isn't what I was bringing up, but there's a part where she's like, so what are we going to do? And he's like, to what? And he's like, to save Clark. And he's like, why would we save Clark? And then she's like, because he's your friend. And he goes, some friend came here to rule over me. And then he's like, and I took a vow to the Green Lantern Corps to stay out of politics. And then Mr. Terrific's like, you took a vow to stay out of politics. And he was like, yeah, it was implied. And he goes, an implied vow. I thought Mr. Terrific's delivery of saying an implied vow was so funny, and no one else like thought it, like busted out laughing like I did.
Mr. Terrific made me laugh a lot, and I didn't even realize that he was Darwin in X-Men First Class. I had no idea, and it's so awesome that he kind of switched sides. Because initially he like went into X-Men and they said they were going to do like a lot with his character and he wasn't going to like be some side piece. Mm-hmm. And then they did the stereotype kill the black guy first.
Yeah, kill the guy that can't be killed.
Yeah, and now he has like he was like everyone was talking about Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, he's a standout
as Mr. Terrific.
And I was watching an interview with him and he said he's like a comic book movie nerd and he sees like every movie and like they're really important to him. Which I always just love when people actually care about what they're making. Which makes even
more sense that he was pissed off with X-Men because Darwin's whole ability, his power, is that he doesn't die.
Adapting. Yeah, he can't die. He adapts to anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific is... Everyone leaves this movie. They either walk out and they're like, that was awesome, and Mr. Terrific is great, or they walk out and they're like, that was fucking awful, but Mr. Terrific was great. Yeah. Like, no matter how you feel about the movie, everyone leaves and they're like, need more Mr. Terrific.
Dude, when he hacks into the computer and he goes, hell yeah. I was like,
hell yeah.
Yeah,
we're in.
We're in. All of his lines of this being like over the top, just the coolest guy ever.
What's the skinny?
What's the skinny? He kind of reminds me of like,
Shaft.
Yeah, Shaft, yeah.
Yeah, just being a badass.
Yeah, just saying the coolest shit ever.
Yeah, and he's like, Superman's like, I want to find a way to get it out of here safely. And then he's like, come on, man. Go for the eyes!
Flies off in his chair.
Yeah. Only because it'll piss off Green Lantern.
He'd do that little smirk he gives. It's the only time he gives an expression.
Yeah. The fucking badass one take.
Oh my god.
Action sequence told through Lois Lane's perspective of like a human being thrown into this like world of metahumans, and that scene is so well done.
It's very, very Yondu-esque from like Guardians.
And everyone's comparing it to the Yondu scene.
Well, I feel like that's something that James Gunn does so well, and it's finding really cool, creative ways to incorporate people's powers. Because, like, on paper, he's got these flying balls, and then he turns it into this huge centerpiece of, like, action, and all the different ways that he uses the T-spheres, too. Like, there's one that flies into a guy's hands, and he grabs it, and then it shocks him. And then he does the revolver thing, which is the coolest thing I've ever seen. He does the same thing with Superman too. He's really good at like showcasing people's abilities, which is I feel like a lot of at least Superman, old Superman, the previous Superman movies were bad about. They never really incorporate his other powers. It's always just like fly up, punch someone, fly up, throw someone. They never really do anything else.
Superman, a flying dog, a weird baby, and a squiggle man.
Squiggle man.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific is terrific.
Oh my god.
Call me crazy. I know. Go ahead and cancel me if you want. I don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, I love Mr. Terrific. I'm goddamn Mr. Terrific.
Goddamn Mr. Terrific. I don't need your help.
Yeah, he was awesome. Hawk Girl didn't get a ton of time, didn't get a lot of lines or anything, but she was cool.
She
I hope we see more.
The coolest transition I've seen in a while.
Oh yeah, when she dropped the Baravian president.
Yeah, and it cuts to Alka-Seltzer
Yeah,
being dropped in the cup. I was like, oh my god, that was sick.
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
Why don't I have a seat?
Oh god.
I love Steve. He has like very little screen time, but I swear every time he has a line, it's funny.
Dude,
Hey, loser. Hey,
Yeah,
Steve.
that guy, I actually, he had a YouTube channel that he was a part of. With,
Yeah, he's pretty well known by people.
yeah, but he was like part of this YouTube channel, and then people from that YouTube channel got like cast in SNL, and like I've kind of seen him like go up. It's cool to see him like now.
yeah.
But yeah, he's really funny. I love basically all the cast. I really liked the guy that they cast to play Jimmy.
Oh my
Their
god.
first
dude,
interaction
Jimmy.
between Jimmy and Clark is perfect.
James understands Jimmy.
Yeah.
I saw this tweet because on Twitter it's constantly Snyder versus Gunn fans all the time, and then it was a tweet that was like comparing the two Jimmy Olsens, because Jimmy Olsen in BVS gets shot in the head in 10 minutes and is an undercover CIA operative. And then obviously the James Gunn Jimmy Olsen everyone loves and is done comic accurately. But someone quote tweeted that and said, "Your Jimmy Olsen gets shot in the head. My Jimmy Olsen gets shots in head."
Get shots in head.
Dude, Jimmy fucks.
He does.
He fucks.
He gives them
ass.
the business.
Dude. All weekend? Yeah, dude. I caught it. I put it in my pocket.
I'm putting him in my pocket. Yeah. That
Jimmy
guy
is awesome, dude.
Yeah, that actor is really so he's in Righteous Gemstones, which I know you haven't seen, but
I've seen Booksmart.
Is he in Booksmart?
He's the person who said it was nerds.
I don't remember that.
Sorry, girls. The traffic was nerds.
Dude, he's really
so
charming.
Good. Yeah.
I really like that guy. But yeah, all the core cast, David as Superman, Rachel as Lois Lane,
Nick as Lex.
Nick as Lex.
You
I've heard
kidding me,
people
dude?
complain
Yeah.
about him.
About what?
They say that he like lacks motivation for like wanting to kill Superman. And
I guess they don't. I guess if you only have seen the movie, maybe they don't really explain it. But I think it's one of those things that like, it's like James Gunn's kind of throwing you into the world.
Yeah.
And it's like just known that Lex hates Superman.
well, that's the thing.
And, like there are reasons. He just doesn't really explicitly say them, even though he does in some cases. Like he explains how Superman saving everybody is showing the world how weak we are. Like how we need this savior from another planet to protect us. That's belittling us as a species.
There's a lot of dialogue that he does in his like monologues to Superman that kind of lets you understand his background. But there's I've seen complaints, and they've been pretty consistent, of stuff that I do not. There's complaints that I understand, right? There was one guy that said he didn't like the music choices for Superman.
Sure.
And I was like, yep, can't help that. There's some people that don't like James Gunn's style and his humor.
There's people that
That's
complain
fine.
about the like the wide lenses and just the way
Yeah.
it looks overall. Like,
Yeah,
I
valid-
guess it's not for
valid
everybody.
complaint.
Yeah.
But people say that, like, I think that some of the complaints that people make, that they're not really understanding the movie. But I've seen people complain about Lex, and if you don't like being thrown into the middle of things, I can understand it being like, the movie does move fast, and it can feel like you're getting,
And that's a valid criticism
yeah,
too.
it can feel like you're getting whiplash. They introduce a lot of stuff that they don't go fully into detail in, because they're establishing the world, and that's not typically how these movies have gone. Usually there's more information given. But like, another complaint has been like Superman gets beat up too much. I've seen everyone talk about that. And
He gets beat up by one person.
he gets beat up by one person, and it's someone who should be able to fight him.
Yeah. It's someone who they say is stronger than him.
And I've heard 2 people complain about how they made the Kents too redneck.
That's such a weird. I haven't heard that. That's such a weird
Yeah,
thing.
I've heard
most
them-
people are actually praising James Gunn for actually casting people that aren't movie stars, not having Kevin Costner be your Pa Kent, like casting a normal looking dude who looks like he would live in Kansas.
Yeah.
And them actually having like country accents.
Yeah, I was like, they're old people that live on a farm.
Yeah.
What did you
What do you think
expect
they're
them
gonna look like?
like behave like?
Yeah.
And the whole thing, as long as they're wholesome, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Most people I've seen are praising the casting for
Yeah.
Mon Pa, so that's odd that people are.
Yeah, I've heard 2 people make
weird.
that complaint, and I was like, I hope this isn't like
Yeah.
the masses.
Yeah. One of my small complaints is that I wish that one of the arcs of the movie is Superman convincing the Justice Gang to basically start following their heart and like start doing what they think is right instead of what their company and their employer tells them to do, because Superman doesn't believe in asking the government for permission to save someone's life. He says that person's going to die, I'm going to save them, that's it. And over the course of the movie, the Justice Gang comes around and starts believing in Clark's philosophy and starts helping people just because they want to. And that is really skimmed over. It basically goes from like
It basically doesn't show.
they leave the Hall of Justice. Like Lois leaves the Hall of Justice with Mr. Terrific, and Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner. That's the last we see of them until they show up and Jarinpur.
yeah.
Like that's a big jump of arcs that happens off screen, and I like that concept and I like that arc. I just wish we would have seen it more. Maybe have like a scene of Guy Gardner talking to Max Lord and saying like, listen, like having an argument or whatever, and he's like, no, you do what I say, you work for me.
Yeah.
And he's like, maybe Guy Gardner quits and he like takes off his uniform and he's like, well, fuck you, or, you know, says some dick shit like Guy
Yeah.
Gardner would say, and like basically quits. And then that would have been really cool. You know, what could have been really cool is if Hawkgirl and Guy Gardner quit working for Max Lord and took off their shitty uniforms and, like put on their
classics.
comic accurate
Yeah.
like Green Lantern suit and Hawkgirl suit, and then show up in Jarinpur. That would have been fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly, that should have happened, but
Yeah.
we'll leave it there. But I wish that storyline would have been expanded on a little more. Trying to think of my other criticisms.
But I do.
There's not much.
I do think that in a movie like this, wanting to spend more time with characters.
Oh, right,
Leaving
yeah.
the movie and wanting to spend more time with characters is a good thing.
Yeah. Oh, there's too much happening. Oh, there's too much awesome shit on screen.
I
What
wish
am I
I got
supposed to do?
more awesome stuff.
Yeah, it should be longer. Like the movie really feels like it needed to be longer. The action I think is really. I get what people are saying about like the wide angle lenses and how maybe it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I think for the action specifically, it works really well.
Yeah.
And James Gunn is, when the action's happening, the camera is constantly moving. It is never still during these action scenes, and they're so well planned out. And like I'm thinking a lot about the scene in the stadium.
That's exactly what I was going to talk about.
It's-
It makes you feel like you're a part of it. You're
Yeah,
right there.
you feel so involved in the fight because of the camera work. And I think it's something that's really going like kind of under the radar about the movie. There's people that love the movie, there's people that hate the movie, but the action I think is really well put together. And when there's shaky cam, it's like shaky cam that makes sense. Like when Clark is flying into the stratosphere to get the nanobots off of him. Like obviously if a camera was following Superman at light speed going to the stars, the camera would be shaking.
Yeah.
They're moving too fast. So like that makes sense. But anytime that's like not happening, there's really no shaky cam. It's like smooth, planned out, like frenetic cutting that really smoothly portrays a fight. And I think the action is like a standout of the movie.
They also like, if you think like so, a lot of that stuff does get bogged down because everyone's gonna. has always been talking about, like Snyder movie versus this Superman. So a lot of the cool stuff does stand out, but going into the camera work of the action sequence, but also the action itself feels so much better than what we've gotten in the past. Where like, if you go back and you watch like Man of Steel when he's fighting Zod and stuff, a lot of it is fly up, punch a guy. They do this effect of like this like shock, and then they go flying, and then they do the same thing. There's not really a whole lot going on. Like in Superman, it's in the trailer, the laser beam tornado that he does, and then he does the fucking cartwheels with that lady on his arm and slams her into the ground like 4 times.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
And I thought at first he was holding on to her and like using her as a whipping tool, but she is attached to him. She has nanobots wrapped around his arm, so it's not his choice. Like, she's stuck on him, and he's like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably like halfway just trying to get her off of him.
Yeah.
Like, if I start beating his ass with her, maybe she'll get off of my arm. I noticed that on second watch, that like he wasn't holding her, he was attached to her.
Yeah, and then even the fights with Ultraman, like, it feels like superheroes are fighting. Like, he would knock him in the air, then knock him back down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you caught that, but he does this fucking face plant into a piece of like a wall when he's fighting Ultraman after he kicks the shit out of him. Mm-hmm. That was so cool.
Yeah.
Ultraman puts him into an armbar at one point.
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, there's a lot of like... So my hot take is that I mean, you probably don't think this is a hot take, but the internet does. I think this is better than all of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies. This is a lot more up my alley, but I think they're like very similar movies. I think that like the things that Sam Raimi chose to do with Spider-Man is the same things that James Gunn's choosing to do with Superman. It's different because Spider-Man is like a solo story about just Spider-Man, where this is like a new universe with all these different characters he has to sort of like start up and involve in his movie. So it doesn't feel super similar, but in terms of like the camera work, firstly, like, there's so many moments that it really feels like a Raimi movie to me. There's the part where Superman shows up in the fortress after his robots have been fucked in the ass by Lex. There's this, like, right when he shows up, they do this like zoom in on him that's like I haven't heard anyone talk about it, but it's like so comic book to me. I love that zoom. And then when he's fighting Ultraman and he breaks his shoulder pops out of place, and then he slings him over and throws him in front of the bus that's going into the black hole, the camera like follows the flip. Yeah. It like the camera flips with Ultraman when it happens. And it happens so quick. That's one thing about the editing, is like these things are happening so quick. Sometimes it's hard to notice like what they're even like doing and like the choices that Gunn's making. But like things like that happen so quick, and they're so littered throughout the movie of these like creative camera choices that I feel like people aren't really giving Gunn credit for, and they're only talking about like the lens choices and like some CGI and like, oh, he looks like he has a lazy eye in that VFX shot. And it's like, okay, it's a VFX shot. Like,
well, I've also noticed that like David Cornswet does have like far apart eyes. Mm-hmm. And at certain angles, like even with not CGI, it can kind of look like that sometimes.
Well, they're doing like the close to the head camera. Like anyone's gonna have like their eyes are gonna look weird. They did it in Black Adam.
Yeah.
They did it in Guardians 3 with Adam Warlock. Like you're too close to the camera. Your eyes aren't gonna look normal.
I think there's really only one shot I can think of that I thought did look bad with the CGI, and it's his fight with the Hammer Baravia, and it's a very fast shot of him like in the sunshine, and the shadows on his face look unnatural.
Yeah,
that's the only shot that stands out to me as being like, whoa. Everything else is done so fast and doesn't linger on it a lot that I'm like, this looks fine.
Yeah,
this looks awesome.
Yeah, I love the emphasis on Superman saving people. It's something that we didn't really get in the Cavill movies.
Dude, I've seen
saving
people...
a squirrel. Yeah. When he catches the kaiju's foot and then blows the dog out of range of the foot because he won't move. Another just a great example of Gunn using Superman's his old plethora of powers.
Yeah.
I liked that when Mr. Terrific killed the kaiju with his grenades, we got to see Superman use his X-ray vision to see inside to see what happened. It's the only time I think we see the X-ray vision in the movie, but it's like it seems like he really made it a point to try to like use everything that Superman is known for with his powers. And yeah, but the emphasis on saving people, I really liked.
I've seen people flaming the Snyder movies, comparing Superman and that, because there's a scene in Man of Steel where Zod or someone throws a gasoline truck at Superman.
And he jumps over it.
He jumps over it and it blows up the building behind him.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like...
In this
Snyder's-
non-evacuated city.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about how like Snyder's Superman lets people die at War Farm. They do this sequence where they blow up the courthouse or wherever it was, the Capitol building.
He just
And
leaves.
he's just... Well, yeah, he just leaves.
Yeah.
And in James Gunn's Superman, he kills a guy that... Lex Luthor kills a guy that gave Superman falafel once. And Superman shrieks.
Yeah, this one guy.
This one guy that he's met once, he's begging for his life, and he fucking loses his mind when he gets shot.
Yeah.
He, like, freaks out when he finds his Superman robots have been destroyed. And there's people talk about the line all the time, but it did make me tear up. Where she's saying, like, he's going to turn himself in to go find Krypto. And she was like, but it's just Lois is like, it's just a dog. And he says, yeah, but he's scared, or he's alone, and he's probably scared.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, and he's not even a very good one, but he's probably alone and scared, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, that's crazy. I
Yeah.
did see a guy with a fucking brain dead take of basically saying that the James Gunn Superman movie was, I guess, too silly. And he was like, if I wanted something like the Richard Donner Superman, I would go and watch that and not this. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah. I think he's a big Snyder fan.
No
He
way.
likes yeah, but I don't know. I like the coming back home after going so long without a traditional Superman and having
Yeah,
a traditional
it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
It's got modern filmmaking, so the fights are actually like intense and cool, and the CGI is good.
Yeah.
But it
With
also has the character.
that guy's
right.
take, it's like, just never do a remake then.
Yeah.
Unless you're reimagining.
Well, we already have
it.
Superman, so why do another Superman?
Yeah. Unless you're doing some kind of weird deconstructed
Yeah.
take on anything.
We already got Adam West Batman in 1966. Why do we make another one?
Yeah, you can't make any more silly Batmans because we have Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
You can't make any more serious Batmans because we have the Dark Knight trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, I really like the score. The music isn't things I would listen to like on my own before the movie. They're not any like songs I knew, but obviously now that I've seen the movie, I like the songs.
Yeah.
Especially Punk Rocker. I think that was just like a really at the time it was like the first watch I was like, this is a weird song to pick to like end the movie on, and even though I knew why he played it, like I knew the reference to what he was
Yeah, it
talking
ties
about,
into him talking
right.
to Lois.
But then like every watch, it like made more and more sense, and it feels more and more like perfect.
Yeah, I love the ending, dude.
Yeah, and the big like controversy with this movie, among lots of things, but the main one that like sane people have is like actually a controversy, is what he did with his parents, and making, I don't want to say Clark's parents evil, because that may not be the right word to use, but it's sort of like in Invincible, how
Yeah, we're not
Mark's
talking
dad,
about the Kents.
Omni-Man puts Viltrum first. So you may see it as evil from your perspective, but like he's just loyal to where he's from. So, but yeah, we get this message of Jor-El saying like, go to Earth and like rule over them and create like new life for Krypton, and like, you know, start spawning new Kryptonians there, and basically making them evil. That's kind of the idea. And that's not super traditional. There's like one or two storylines in the comics where that happens, but
Yeah,
it's
I think
very
it's-
not traditional.
I think it's the House of L.
Yeah, House of L does it. And a lot of people don't like it. I actually think it's an interesting idea, and I think the reason that I like it is because I think it adds a lot more weight to the Kents and their importance, and I think it's saying it doesn't matter where you're from or like who your parents are. It's the people who raise you and the people who are around you and support you are who make you who you are. And you're not like destined to be something because of your lineage. Like you can be whoever you want to be. And I think that him having two sets of great parents is in a way redundant. Like if his Kryptonian parents are awesome and then the Kents are awesome, it's like there's no like contrast. There's no real like I don't know. There's just more for me when I see like his parents having this like idea for what he should be. And then also I really like the idea of early in the movie, Clark says, I have a message from my parents and I cherish it and it's the reason I do what I do. And then later in the movie, he talks to Pa Kent and he's like, I'm not who I thought I was. And then he starts to realize, like, from talking to Pa Kent, like, you're doing this because you want to.
Yeah.
Like, your actions are defining who you are, not your parents, not what they wanted you to be. You're doing these things because you are choosing to.
Yeah.
And Pa Kent didn't tell him to be Superman, and Jor-El didn't tell him to be Superman. He's doing it because he wants to. And then I think about the Henry Cavill movies where Russell Crowe's telling him to be Superman. Like he's it's almost like it wasn't his choice to become Superman. It was like forced upon him. And I really like the idea of it being fully Clark's choice and him sort of turning against his heritage and what they wanted for him, and then realizing how also the other element of that little like story arc is when at the beginning of the movie the robot says, do you want me to play a video of your parents? And then it's the L's, and then at the end he says, do you want me to play a video of your parents? And it's the Kents.
Yeah.
So he obviously realizes like he was clinging on to these are my parents and like I miss them and I love them and like they're my real parents and the Kents are just the Kents. And then at the end of the movie he realizes like the Kents are my parents. Yeah. Like I was looking for something that's not there, and what like my family and my parents were right in front of me the whole time.
Yeah. I know what you mean with that. I felt the same way. I was hesitant about the change, but it didn't really, like, in the grand scheme of things, I was like, they don't really have that much of an effect on Superman.
They're not big parts of Superman stories.
I haven't read House of L. I was, I haven't read it yet, so I was trying to like stay away from like what it all entailed. But I found out it's House of L. And then the second time I watched the movie, I thought it was genius. Mm-hmm. Because the whole idea with Superman that people are like bored because he's too overpowered, he's too straightforward, just doing the right thing. And I think having that contrast of like going against what your parents destined you to do, mm-hmm. and Pa Kent says what you wanted that video to mean means more than what it actually said.
Right.
I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then it also drives him closer to the Kents, because like in previous Superman movies, he basically never hangs out with him once he finds out he has videos of his real parents. Mm-hmm. And I think it pushes him to be like Superman's there in the, I think it's the animated Justice League. Batman says that Superman is more human than he is. Mm-hmm. And like he's not. He is closer to humanity than he will ever be with
right.
Krypton and the L's and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it makes complete sense. I think it adds another layer of depth to his character, and I think it was a great choice to make.
I think that the L's being good is not necessary.
Yeah.
I don't think it's something you have to change, but I don't think it's necessary. And I think James Gunn took it as an opportunity to like change something and make it his own, and also like try to find ways to improve the story and add more things to the story. And I think it really works.
Yeah, I think it does too.
I really think it's interesting. I think it fits really well into like the themes and like what he's going for with the movie overall, and I really like the whole punk rocker thing and how he's criticized almost like the whole movie for how kind he is and how he values everyone's life, and he's saving squirrels, and how I was thinking about it, and it's like it's not something I'd ever thought of before, but now that James Gunn's saying it, I'm like, yeah, like it's the accepted thing nowadays is being mean.
Yeah.
And like that's what makes you funny, and that's what makes you cool, is like being mean and shitting on people. And like being nice really is like kind of going against the grain. And that's what punk rock was. Like it was teenagers and young people like being rebellious and like going against the grain and trying to be different. And nowadays it does feel like being kind is almost like different and you're like the odd man out.
Yeah.
So like especially with the internet and like
Yeah.
it is a cesspool of negativity. And so I really like resonated with it, and I was like, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Like being true to yourself despite what everyone else is saying. Like his own parents want him to be bad. Everyone's saying he's like naive and all this other stuff, but he's still like, no, like this is just
He doesn't budge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love his speech to Lex at the end. I do wish that Lex got his chance to give his full speech back to Superman. That's one of my small nitpicks, because he says a line or two and then Krypto attacks him, but I really wanted to like hear what all Lex had to say. So I wish he could have been able to say everything and like really retort. But that scene's great.
I think they also left room to kind of dive deeper into Lex Luthor as a character. Mm-hmm. Like, I think they have the potential to have... I think he's already the best depiction of Lex Luthor. I've heard
easily.
People say that they prefer Kevin Spacey.
I prefer
I don't
cock
know
in
why.
my ass.
Aside from the Kryptonite line, he sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But... like when he sees that like the world realizes that he's a traitor, and he starts like crying, staring at Superman, I'm like, dude, this guy is like, psychologically kind of fucked up.
Yeah, and someone pointed out today that they noticed that they felt like Clark in that scene, the expression on his face like felt bad for Lex. In a way, because he's seeing this person that's like dedicated their whole life to something, and it's like crumbling right in front of their eyes. So like as much as he disagrees with Lex and they're like enemies, he like the human part of him like feels bad that someone is going through that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a small little detail. I don't think I've like picked up on it when I've watched it, so I'm gonna look out for it next time.
Yeah.
But
Superman doesn't look at like any character in the movie with disdain. Even when he's fighting Engineer and Ultraman, he stops trying to fight Engineer and says it's not too late to like, you don't have to do what he says.
Right. I love that little moment.
Yeah,
it means so much.
And I've heard people complain about like they evacuated Metropolis too quickly, and I was like, dude, at least they showed evacuations happening.
Do you know how long it takes to evacuate a full city? Like, longer than the length of the movie. Yeah. It takes probably a day or two to get everyone out of a city. Like, it's not feasible. The movie has a flying dog in it, dude. Just fucking get over it.
I appreciate the gesture more than the reality of it. Mm-hmm. The fact that it is showing people evacuating the city. It is showing him taking human life, all life really, into consideration before anything.
Also, a quick easy out of all this. This is a world with metahumans in it. Who's to say that the Flash wasn't there off screen escorting all these people off the island instantly? Yeah. I mean, there's a whole fucking Justice League out there of people that could have been helping with that we just didn't see.
Yeah.
So, fuck you.
Yeah, I was like, you're nitpicking.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I noticed
Not to
it,
mention
but
that leads to a shot that gets me fucking.
dude,
All the blood leaves my body and goes
Dude.
into my penis. You know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. There's two. Well, there's two. They're back to back.
There's a lot,
Him catching the building from the lady's perspective in the car.
Yeah.
And then the score, like they really went hard with the score and like emphasized it in these moments. And he catches the building, she gets away, and then he floats up in the dust, like in the sky.
Dude.
And you hear the score. Oh my god, dude! And also, I like that Clark. Obviously, he's kind and he's nice and he's Superman, and like that's what the movie's about. But he also talks shit, and that's what I think people don't get when they think he's a Boy Scout. They think that he can't be like fun, but like he talks shit too. Like when the Raptors show up, and then Lex tells the Raptors to kill him. He goes, "Good luck with that."
Yeah.
Like that's a dickhead thing to say, but like.
Yeah.
It's
And then he
it's
knocks the
funny.
guy's teeth out.
Yeah, knocks the guy's teeth out, dude.
Jesus. I like that like Christopher Reeve, is obviously hailed as, the best Superman, and you look at him as Superman and as Clark Kent, he never really, as Clark, he's always just like nice and sweet. Mm-hmm. And I like that. But I also like that in this Superman, like he like gets upset when Lois mentions the hashtag super shit, and he cares about what people thinks about him, and he like yells when she's like, you need to question it. He's like, people were gonna die, like what aren't you understanding?
Right. And it's also because he's like fairly young too. He's only been Superman for 3 years, so in some ways he's like a little immature.
Yeah.
So like like a real veteran Superman, these internet hashtags probably wouldn't bother him, and he'd be a lot more like comfortable with everything. Mm-hmm. But he's still young, and he's still in a way like naive, and he's still letting these like hashtags bother him. And he's like, Lois notices him like reading the internet all the time and like caring what people say about him.
Yeah.
And that's something that like over time he'll care less and less about. So I think that that's also like interesting in a way to show him like be this great person, and he's completely who he is, and there's no like arc that needs to happen like in Man of Steel. Like he is Superman already, but there's like elements of him being sort of almost naive to a fault.
Yeah.
That like will help, change over time.
Superman doesn't have time for selfies.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw High Top's video.
Where's the button?
Where's the button? Yeah. I saw High Top's video talking about it, and he was talking about in that scene, he's drinking a glass of milk with his
I never
breakfast.
noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good. Yeah. I love everything that David Cornsweet does, and the ending too kind of gets me teared up a little bit with just like, this is so fucking good. But when Lois says I love you too, and he like he looks like he's the happiest.
It's the happiest any person's ever been.
Yeah.
In ever.
Like, yeah. That was so incredible, dude.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. The Peacemaker cameo was cool. Fun little insert.
Just mad because you're not as jacked as me.
They're just mad because they're not as jacked as me. I mean, it's very common. And then Supergirl obviously shows up at the end. I'm excited to see Supergirl. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like what they're doing with her arc. She's going to start out as like this sort of party girl, and then I know from the back of the graphic novel it says that she goes on a revenge tour in that book. So something happens where she goes on a revenge tour. But obviously Lobo's in it, so probably Lobo kills someone she loves or something along those lines, and then she's going to find Lobo.
Well, dude, Lobo's a fucking evil dude.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know a lot about him, but he's a bit of a rascal.
Yeah, I want to read some Lobo soon.
But yeah, I actually don't know a ton about Supergirl. As a kid, I thought she was just like a girl version of Superman, and I was like, girls are gross.
Yeah.
So I never bothered like investigating.
Yeah.
But from what I know now, the very limited amount that I know, she is a very interesting character.
It's sort of like what if Superman wasn't raised by the Kents kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like...
And they've done that with like Red Sun and some other like twists, but I think Kara has her own unique like characteristics with how she deals with stuff that make her more interesting than just like kind of the retelling of Superman.
Yeah. I got the graphic novel, so I own it now. I'm gonna read it soon, but I'm excited to see like what's cooking.
Yeah.
You know, that's
What's
gonna be
what's
good.
under the hood? You know.
Right? Yeah. What's in the crawl space, if you know what I mean?
Yeah. We just gotta figure this out.
Is there anything else we should discuss about Superman?
I don't think so. I gave it a 5-star, obviously.
Because I'm not an idiot.
Yeah, because I'm not a moron. I do think that
Not a
if you
buffoon.
watch Superman and you give it like less than a 3, I don't know what's fun for you.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what you go do.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think, arguably, if you don't like Superman, stub your toe. How about that?
I mean, if you don't like Superman as a character, then you're definitely not going to like this movie very much.
It feels like if you don't like this movie, you don't like Superman as a character, or you're a Snyder fan. Those are the two options.
Well, that's the same thing. If you're a Snyder fan, you don't like Superman.
Well,
as a
not
character.
always. You can just not like Superman, so you don't like any. So you wouldn't like Snyder ones either.
Yeah, but Snyder fans don't like Superman as a character.
I know, but Snyder fans don't like Superman, but that doesn't mean because you don't like Superman, you're a Snyder fan.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Snyder guys just fucking, they kill me, dude.
Yeah. Snyder's sick though. Shout out to Snyder. He's a great guy.
He's
but
a cool guy.
His little minions that run around.
It's weird that they would like stand like have this cult following after like they love Zack Snyder, but then like I feel like he was.
They don't give a fuck about Army of the Dead. I'll tell you, the Rebel Moon.
Well,
They
I
don't
just
give
feel
a fuck
like they
about
were
that shit.
like he was so mistreated with his time there. I obviously I don't know like the ins and outs, but I know that I feel like it was wrong to have someone else come in and finish Justice League after, you know, the tragedy that happened to Zack Snyder and stuff. But I don't know. I feel like they could have treated him better.
I mean, they did. They could have, but I don't know what you're getting at.
I just say it's weird that you would have like fans of like the Snyder stuff after they like botched Justice League, bring in another guy in, and then it's like if you're a fan of Zack Snyder, it seems like you would be anti like DC because they mistreated him.
I mean, they are anti-DC. They hate everything that comes out now.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's it. I mean, yeah. It's a pretty good movie.
Pretty good picture.
We're seeing something pretty fantastic on Thursday, if you know what I mean.
God.
If you're picking up what I'm putting down. So I don't know when we're recording. I'm not going to say names. I'm not going to say dates anymore. I'm just going to say we'll be back at some point.
Look up.
Oh, my.
That's all you got to
dude.
do, brother.
Holy
Look
shit.
up, and we may or may not be
Yeah.
there.
You look up in the sky, you see the scoop signal.
Yeah.
You know we're
Look
coming.
up in August, and we might have the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, next year we might have that Fantastic Four movie out. I'm gonna open up this here laptop.
Good grief, it's late.
But yeah, we'll talk about Fantastic Four at some point. I've got good expectations. I told Carl I think minimum for me it's going to be a 4. I think because of I already love the characters and I like the shit movies. So this looks like it's at least going to have great visuals and aesthetic. So like I just can't see myself going lower than 4, but we'll see. Maybe it will.
Yeah, I'm very cautious.
Yeah. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I'm sorry for, not recording for a month. Fucking
Come on.
yeah, make like a tree and get out of here.
Grow
all right.
up.
But thank you guys for tuning in to the Film Scoop.